Okay, the stream should be live, but I still need time to do a Discord announcement and pull up the YouTube chat, all of those things, so not live yet. If you're watching the VOD, you can skip ahead 2-3 minutes. This usually takes me just a bit of time. Okay, the stream should be live. Alright, got the chat up on YouTube. That way I can actually see what people are saying when they stop by. Discord announcement going up just about now. Gonna say the same thing I said last time. That way it's short, simple, saves me time. And boom. Okay. Don't know if I should wait a minute or so for people to get here. That way they don't miss much. I guess I could check out the stream settings. It seemed like the volume was working. My input is like maxed. Elgato is halved. That's usually pretty much how I have it. I could throw my guy in there on the side. Not my 3D guy today because that's too much hassle. But where's my other guy? This? I gotta move it down. Yeah, there you go. Alright, that's good enough. My first steps as Fairy Queen are shaky. At any moment, it feels like my legs might give out from under me.
Something from the ICANN school. Feels like it could be.
Okay, I had to turn off the mic because family interruptions, but I am back. Yeah, at the same time, I feel a strange sort of confidence and inner strength. I don't know if magic literally courses through my veins or not, but it feels that way. I thought they showed us this chapter 5 like cover page last time. My first steps is very wait, yeah, why'd I go back? What the heck? Whatever. My next few steps as Fairy Queen are easier. She looks hot. You think so? I don't know. You talking about Abigail or Blondie? I think Blondie looked better before. I keep my gaze fixed on Abigail as I make my way towards her. She waits impatiently, concern clearly etched on her face. The fairies buzz agitatedly over my head, darting and dashing in pointless patterns. Though they don't vocalize anything, I can hear their voices clearly in my head.
Our queen! Welcome home. How does it feel?
I acknowledge their words, and at the same time I can feel myself be acknowledged. It comes as naturally as breathing. I promise that I'll get to them in a moment. Maddie, you think so? Yeah, me and Saru aren't as impressed. Saru, I was gonna message you earlier, but I decided not to message you because I figured you would show up at stream, so I figured I could just talk to you now. I watched a video about Sonic Frontiers, and I heard that it's actually pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, there were some criticisms, but I heard it's good. Have you purchased it? Are you gonna purchase it? What's up with that? I also heard that it's open world, which I didn't know was gonna be open world. That sounds like a interesting twist for Sonic. I want to buy the game, but I don't want to buy it at full price. I'm gonna wait till it drops to like 30 maybe. 30, I think $30 is good. I just pre-ordered 2 collector's edition games that were like $100 each, so I got a budget. You know, I only spend full price when the game is fucking worth it, which is the 2 games that I pre-ordered were Tellurizer 3, because the Tellurizer 1 and 2 were both like freaking amazing games, And then I pre-ordered Trails into Reverie, because I'm a big Trails of Cold Steel, Trails in the Sky, Trails of Zero fan. So, pre-ordered that, and I'm very excited. I was hearing some good things here and there. I'll keep an ear on it. Yeah, never Sonic at full price? Yeah, never. The one time I bought Sonic at full price, and this was probably a regretful decision, but you know, I was young, okay? I was a little tiny tot. Was Shadow the Hedgehog at full price. I used my allowance. No, I used multiple allowances, and I was like, Shadow the Hedgehog, let's do it. 50 bucks. GameCube. F-Sonic, I'm looking at One Piece Odyssey. Oh yeah! I forgot One Piece Odyssey is coming out. I want to get that too, but I keep forgetting it's coming out because, like, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be as spoken about. Maybe because it's not out yet. Coming out in January. To be honest, I don't know if I'm going to pay full price for One Piece Odyssey either. I don't think I would pay full price for it. The reason being because the best One Piece game that I've ever played is One Piece Unlimited World on the Nintendo Wii. And I don't think any One Piece game has been quite as exciting since then. Like, a lot of the One Piece games that have come out recently are they're good. You know, they're not like 100% terrible. Like, I have fun with them, but they're not worth full price though. I think One Piece is another thing that's like 30 bucks is fine. It's an RPG style? I mean, most of them are. They're either like fighting games, RPG games, or Dynasty Warrior style games. Those are like the three things that One Piece will go for. Oh geez, Shadow, though, if you play with friends, taking turns and taking the piss out of it, it's pretty fun. I don't think I ever played Shadow with friends. I think I played some of the other Sonic games with friends, but never Shadow. I'm waiting for it to go on sale. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale. The last One Piece game that came out, it was, hold up, it's over here on my shelf. N-O... One Piece... World Seeker? World Seeker was kind of disappointing. Burning Blood was kind of like very short. It was like a 4-hour game. Pirate Warriors 3 and 4 are good if you like Dynasty Warrior games, which I don't always like, but sometimes I'm in the mood for them. So if I'm in the mood for it, it's good. But yeah, One Piece, man, I don't know. I miss what Unlimited World was on the freaking Nintendo Wii. That was amazing. It was like open world-ish kinda, but not really. Yeah, World Seeker wasn't that good, right, Saru? I don't know. Like, I played it till the end, and I tried to do some of the extra stuff, like get as many trophies as I can. Well, I don't know. It wasn't 100% the best by any means. It was like maybe a 7 out of 10. I'll give it a 7. And 7 for me is average. On some scales, on some people's scales, like a 5 would be average. And that would be my average if I was rating anime, but as far as games are concerned, like my scale is a little different, like 7 would be the average.
Madison, are you alright?
She clings to my side, her slender arms tight around me. Though I'm not shaky anymore, her presence is still infinitely reassuring. I press my lips to her head and we sway gently back and forth. I can feel her too, as a part of the forest. Her presence is as warm and comforting in my head as in my arms.
I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Good news, XYZ and Saru. Maddie is totally fine. So I have this weird feeling in like my upper left back. I don't know if you guys have ever had this feeling before, but it feels like, you know the feeling you get when you're peeling off a band-aid, right? But not when it hurts, not when it's like, you know, you're peeling the hair. Like, pretend you have like no hair, right? And you're just peeling a band-aid. That's what it feels like in my back for the past like 3 days. Like, not like constant, but like I keep getting that feeling. It feels like glue being peeled or something. It's weird. Pretty mediocre considering what it could be. Would be nice to go from island to island. You know what's the other One Piece game that I have? But this is PS3. I got the Unlimited Adventure, Unlimited World Red, whatever it is. That one was also kinda just like a 7. I don't know. Although I do feel like it was probably better than some of these newer ones. It was better than World Seeker. But it was just like, you know, I don't know. The fact that you're like replaying things that you already know, right? You know what I mean? Like Punk Hazard. Because like with the Nintendo Wii game, Unlimited Adventure or whatever it was a completely new story in a completely new setting. It was very, like, a lot of exploration, a lot of, like, crafting of items, a lot of fighting, leveling up skills. It was exciting because everything was new. But a lot of these other One Piece games, it's just, like, what you already know from the manga or anime. It's not really, like, a new plot, so it's kind of, eh. And they try to make, like, twists on it, like, okay, same setting, but new villain. But it's like, eh. Sunburn? I don't know. It's not a sunburn because, you know, I wear a shirt and it's not like I took my shirt off. But I don't know. I don't even know if that's what sunburn feels like because I've never had sunburn. Maybe it feels like that, but it's not sunburn though. It's weird. You played the first Pirate Warriors? That one was really cool. I did not. What platform was it on? I never figured that out. Because Pirate Warriors 3 and 4, they're on PS4. And I never saw like a Western version of Pirate Warrior 1 or 2. You know what I did play? I played like the really old GameCube One Piece games. What was it? Pirate Warriors 1 and 2? And Grand Battle? I used to play those. That's what got me into One Piece. I think I played the One Piece. What is it? It's called Pirate War? No, it's not Pirate Warriors. What was it? The fighting game on GameCube. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, the fighting game on GameCube, whatever it was called, that's what got me into One Piece. After that, I started watching the anime, reading the manga. Is snowing where GU is? It probably is, honestly. She makes a sound that I think is a gasp, but I soon realize is a sob. Abigail cries against my shoulder, her arms tightening like a vice. I don't ever want to let her go. Damn. I hold her as tightly as I can while her body is racked with sobs. Her breath and tears are warm, almost painfully hot. The thin lace on my new outfit does little to inhibit them.
I'm so sorry that all of this is happening. I'm sorry.
Gently, I find her hands and take them in mine. I squeeze them, trying to impart the same kind of solace that she gives to me.
It's okay. Really. I'm happy things turned out this way. I'm glad that I met you, no matter the circumstances.
Her cries get stronger, and I drop one of her hands in order to brush her hair back from her tear-stained face. We hold each other tightly until she's able to calm down. Grand Battle and Grand Adventure? I think that was it. Grand Battle. Did they have a Grand Battle too? I don't know. I know the first Grand Battle, it had like an orange cover. And it only had like, I think, 13 playable characters. It didn't have like a big cast back then. But it was fun. Meanwhile, the fairy still continues to circle overhead, although they remain respectfully silent. Finally, Abigail heaves a steady breath and steps back just a little bit.
I'm sorry again. It was just that seeing you there with the fairy light. I mean, you looked beautiful. You still do. More than beautiful.
Damn, Abigail acting like XYZ, saying Maddie is more than beautiful and shit.
But it made me again realize everything that you've gone through. Everything I've put you through.
I press a finger to her lips. She looks up at me, surprise replacing the sadness.
It's okay. I'd go through all of it again to end up here with you. I mean it.
Abigail sniffles heavily, and I can tell that she's trying not to cry again.
You can make it up to me by getting out of all of this with me.
She nods.
That sounds more like a gift to me than the other way around. But I'll keep being selfish and take it.
Good. I want you to be selfish.
We kiss quickly and briefly, then separate. I look up at the fairies above me who are glad to be noticed again.
Thank you for saving me like this. I owe you my life.
Somehow I've ended up owing my life to way more people than I ever expected to.
You have 3 days to keep it. That's right! You're running out of time! We can't wait much longer!
I know. I'll find a queen for you.
I know that it won't be as easy as I make it sound. After meeting some of the Eisenfeld locals, I don't get the impression that any of them would be interested in the offer. Still, I have 3 days to figure it out.
We'll be waiting. We know we'll see you again. With a new queen or not.
The ritual finished, the fairies quickly dispersed back into the trees. I'm glad there's no more ceremony or ritual to go along with my transformation. I'm kind of surprised that she's got 3 days. I thought this was going to be like a permanent job. I didn't realize this was a seasonal job offer. Fairy queen for just 3 days. So do you guys want to hear me complain for 2 seconds? I'm sure you guys remember I said that one day they want me to do a weekend retreat. It's in 2 weeks. It's in 2 weeks. I don't want to go. It's like Friday evening to Sunday evening. So it's like we don't get any time off. Because then we got to go back to school. I'm back to work Monday. I don't know why my principal thinks this is a good idea. I really don't know why she thinks it's a good idea. It's like I've heard like every teacher complaining about it behind the principal's back. Like nobody wants to do this. So, and like there are other schools in my building because we're like a collection of schools, and none of the other schools have to do this. So I'm like, why is my principal the one person in this entire, you know, organization that thinks this is a wonderful idea to sacrifice our weekend to go on a staff retreat in the middle of nowhere? It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, alone with Abigail once more, I head to the shore of the pond so that I can finally get a full glimpse of myself. I can barely recognize my own reflection. The girl staring back at me from beneath the water looks much more suited to the position of queen than I expected. She looks calm and confident, like she's unafraid of whatever happens next. I hope I'm not just fooling myself. I turned this way and that, admiring my new outfit. Atop my head, the flower crown that the fairies gave me fits comfortably. I wonder if it's meant to tempt me into staying. Like, they got something to prove? Who, do you think the principal got something to prove? I mean, here's the thing. I think it's well-intentioned, right? You know, having a team building thing could be pretty cool. I think there's good intentions in that. And I think, you know, some of the activities that we might be doing could be fun. I don't think it's like 100% a terrible thing. It's just the fact that it takes up our weekend. You know, it takes up our little bit of free time during the week. The fact that we have to go somewhere that's 3 hours away. And the fact that for some people, it's a major inconvenience because it's like that's their time with their family, with their kids, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. Like, if it was like just like come in on a Sunday morning and we'll do this 4-hour thing, you know what I mean? That seems fine. You know, I don't mind giving up like 4 hours of my weekend to do a team building exercise. But the fact that it's like a 48-hour thing, it's a terrible idea, you know? It's just insane. Needs people to hang out with. Honestly, like, a lot of the people above me in position, like the staff developers and I think the school counselors, I think they work with the principal in the building on weekends. Like, they work 7 days a week, so The principal got people around. I don't understand why they work 7 days a week. I don't know how they do it, cause dude, I wish I were working 3 or 4 days a week, honestly. Working 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, it's really 10.5 hours, but I'm gonna round down. I'm working like 53 hours a week, man. It's not good. Abigail moves closer, peering into the water with me. Our reflections next to each other serve as a visible reminder as to why I can't stay. You know, it's crazy though. A lot of the kids know me now. So I'll have kids that are like, Mr. GU, right? And I don't know who the hell they are. Some of them aren't even part of my school, because like I said, my building is like a collection of schools. So it's like, bro, you're in kindergarten, and you're not even in my school, you're in another school. How the heck do you know my name? It's crazy, man. XYZ, you're working? What are you working as? What's your job? And as comfortable and satisfying as this newfound gift is, I have no desire to keep it at the cost of our freedom. I'll get us out of this.
Are you ready to go?
I am.
Okay. First things first, we need to get in touch with Morgan and Tara. They probably know more about the mayor than we do.
It'll also set my mind at ease a lot. There's so much I need to say to Tara. Even if I spent all 3 of our days just talking with her, that still wouldn't be enough time.
How will we do that? Going into the village would be far too dangerous.
We don't have to. We just have to get to the cabin.
I flex my fingers, still acutely aware of the magical tingling.
And that's easy like this.
Abigail runs her fingers over mine, her skin angelically soft like always.
Alright. I trust you.
Curl my fingers, squeezing her hand again.
Thank you. Speaking of which, there's something I think we should do.
Working in retail? How's that going for you, XYZ? I feel like a lot of people who work retail jobs complain about it, but I also feel like it's not that bad. I pause a moment. I pause a moment while she waits expectantly, much like the way my coronation just ended. What I'm about to say seems unceremonious.
I think I can return us to the physical plane, too. Both of us.
It takes a second for the implications to sink in before Abigail's eyes grow wide as saucers.
Madison! Are you sure?
Her hand clutches her heart.
Yeah. I can't explain how I know, but I just do. There's a lot of stuff that I can do now. But that way, you'll be able to talk with Morgan and Tara too. And I know that we'll need all the help we can get at the end.
I keep banishing thoughts of what that end will be because there's only one way that this can end, putting a stop to Evelyn once and for all. I don't need that weighing on my mind along with everything else right now.
I understand. You know that I wouldn't just abandon you, Madison.
Oh, you're getting an interview? Feel confident about it?
I know.
Abigail takes a deep breath, steadying herself.
Okay. I'm ready.
Silently, I step forward, taking her other hand in mine as well. I close my eyes and bow my head, and I feel her do the same. I can feel the magic course through me and out of me, spreading like vines from my fingers. It affects both me and her, taking our very forms and rebinding them to the mortal world where they belong. I can feel Abigail tense up and hear her breathing getting shallow. Still, I keep my eyes closed, willing the magic to continue working. It obeys my whims effortlessly. And then after a minute, it feels like an hour. The flow of magic slows and then stops. I open my eyes. Abigail's still there, her hands warm in mine. Her eyes slowly open as well, meeting mine. This close together, I can feel her breath, warm against my face.
How do you feel?
Always confident? There you go. A light breeze blows through. Is it close to home? For the first time in 200 years, Abigail's gown sways in the wind.
It's cold.
She says and laughs, pressing herself even more tightly against me. Abigail shivers, her teeth begin chattering within seconds of her transformation. Despite how poofy it is, her gown really isn't very warm at all. Fortunately, the chill doesn't bother me. It wouldn't make sense for a fairy queen to be susceptible to the cold. But taking care of Abigail is a pressing matter.
Let's go to the cabin. I can get us there quickly.
She just nods, wrapping her arms tightly around herself. I hug her tightly as well, and I access the magic once again. This time I'll use it to transport us across the forest, so it's very boundary where the cabin is. To its very boundary where the cabin is, and where my powers stop being useful. Since the cabin and village are technically outside the bounds of the forest, once I step past the trees, I'll just be a regular ghost again, at least until I go back into the forest. So I can't get too far away. If Evelyn were to find out where we are or make some move against us, I'd be powerless to stop her. Better to not even give her that opportunity. I like how she's like a fairy queen, and she's saying that she's still powerless against Evelyn. Like, bro. Still, the transportation is smooth. It doesn't even feel like we move. Instead, we close our eyes in the fairy clearing, and when we open them again, the cabin is just in front of us. Seeing it again strikes a pang in my heart. It feels like forever ago. I guess technically it was a lifetime ago. There's no time to get sentimental though, not when Abigail's like this. Instead, we hurry to the front door. Miraculously, the door is unlocked. Guess Morgan and Tara had more important things to worry about than locking up the last time they were here. We rush inside and I turn on both the lights and the heater. As warm air cranks out, Abigail's relief is palpable and immediate. She settles down onto one of the chairs, comfiness outweighing even her curiosity for just a moment.
Better?
Much.
She luxuriates in the feeling, eyes closed in bliss. Her fingers absent-mindedly scrape the soft cushion of the couch, which she presses her back into.
It's so soft.
Then she leaps to her feet, zooming towards the kitchen. She drags her fingers along every different surface as she goes, stopping to examine most of them. She rubs the edge of the counter.
Medicine, it's so smooth and cold.
At the sink, she examines the faucets intently before spinning one of them. Cold water pours out over her hands, and she yelps in shock but quickly grins.
Medicine, it's like a river.
Then she reaches the heater, which is pretty much keeping her alive right now. Like a cat, she basks in front of it, relishing the warmth. Each sensation seems to bring her immeasurable joy. For me, it had been a couple weeks. For Abigail, it had been 200 years without feeling warmth or cold or textures. I watched fondly. I wish we had more time to enjoy ourselves, more time to show her modern things like films. I remind myself that I can't think like that. We just don't have the time yet. We just have to get through this, then we'll have all the time in the world.
I'm going to get you some warmer clothes. I'll be right back.
Are either of you guys, XYZ or Saru, playing Genshin, like, on the regular? After Saru told me that the 7-day thing is happening, I started, obviously, logging in, but also, like, doing my dailies on all 3 accounts again. And I decided to look into the events. So one of the events had Klee and Razor on it. I missed the dad event. I mean, I knew it was happening, but I never did it because I didn't have time. Or, you know, I was doing other things. So I missed whatever that Klee event was. But I did the Hyaki-Ishin, whatever the heck it's called, yesterday. I like that one because it's pretty easy at least. They have that racing one again where you're collecting coins. I hate that one. It's so boring, dude. So freaking boring.
All right.
She still popped in front of the heater, closer than I would have thought is comfortable. Smiling, I head into what had once been my bedroom. It's been rearranged a bit. My suitcase has been shoved to one corner, forgotten. My laptop sits atop my bed, although most of the video gear is missing. Tara and Morgan must have taken it with them when they left. Good thinking. I started booting up my laptop while I rolled the suitcase to my bed and started sifting through my clothes. After everything I've been through, the actions feel so mundane that I have to give myself a second just to let it all sink in. Everything's been moving so fast since that night Abigail and I kissed by the water. There's hardly been a chance to breathe. Still, being back on familiar territory with familiar comforts is reassuring. It makes me feel like a human again. Something as simple as being able to push a button on my computer and watch it respond is a little miracle that I don't think I'll take for granted again. Getting used to the necessities of normal life, Like eating and sleeping will definitely take some time though. Same with keeping warm. Unfortunately for Abigail, my clothes are the only option she has. They won't fit her as well, but they should be better than that nightgown she's been wearing for so long. Yo, bro, we're gonna get a new outfit for Abigail, bro. You ready, XYZ? I usually skip everything. Wait, so you're not doing the events? I complete the outfit with a cute hat. I hope she likes it.
Here you go. They're not the best fit, but they should at least keep you warm.
Abigail hurries over and reverently takes the bundle from me.
Are these your clothes?
Oh, this is hot, bro. Like, 2 girls and one of them is gonna wear her lover's clothes. That's kind of hot.
Yeah, they are. I hope that's okay.
She holds the bundle to her chest.
I'll treasure them.
She'll treasure them. She'll treasure. I mean, I skipped some of the dialogue too in Genshin. Who has the time? But even with skipping the dialogue, it still feels like it takes forever. I show her to the bathroom and also explain how everything works. I have to admire her restraint in just accepting everything modern in stride. Here comes XYZ. Abigail reappears in some of Madison's clothes, wearing a warmly knit hat, long gray skirt, and purple coat. You know, this doesn't strike me as a as a freaking Madison outfit. This looks like something Evelyn would wear, because the freaking dress is so damn long and depressing looking, plus that like half jacket, half shirt, whatever you want to call that. The only thing that looks cute is the hat. Isn't too long before she emerges once again. She holds her arms wide, the cloth hanging a little loosely from her in parts, but she's smiling.
How do I look?
Gorgeous.
That's the word I managed to stammer out, though there's a whole slew of them that would work. Call me biased, but I think my clothes look better on her than on me. Probably. Giggling, she does a slow spin, showing off more.
The person who chose them has wonderful taste.
I don't know about having wonderful taste. It's alright. We want to see more skin, bro. Abigail gets comfortable in the living room while I grab my laptop from the bed. Sit down beside her, turning it so she can see.
This is a computer. It can do a ton of things, but it also lets people talk via long distances.
And that's how you're going to contact Tara?
Right.
Abigail watches with rapt attention as I open a browser and wait for the painfully slow internet to load my email.
There are so many different pictures and words. Don't you ever lose track of where you are?
Not really. You get used to it.
Surely you're being modest. I imagine very few people could operate one of these.
I love her. I mean, she kind of cute though, yeah.
I wish. But really, most people have one of their own. Or even more than one. They're a really common part of everyday life.
I see. In that case, you'll have to teach me.
Definitely. For now, though, I'm going to send that message.
How will it be transported?
It's,
I try to think of how to explain this, then I realized that I have the perfect analogy.
You know how the forest is all totally connected? Like, how you can sense all the different parts of it?
Abigail nods and slowly her face gets pale.
Medicine. Don't tell me that modern people are connected in the same way.
I can't help it, I burst out laughing. Indignantly, she waits for me to finish. Takes me past the point of having tears in my eyes before I do.
I can see that I was wrong.
She pretends to pout, though I can see in her eyes that she's just playing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bro, why does Maddie have like this crazy look in her eyes while saying sorry like she's about to stab someone? She looks like freaking Evelyn, bro. Jesus.
It's just that you look so horrified.
She laughs too.
Well, imagine how I feel. Apparently nothing is impossible anymore, so I simply have to assume the worst.
She snuggles against me, pressing her cheek against my shoulder to show that she's only pretending to be upset.
So, go on. Do explain it then.
It's not the people who are connected, but the machines. If you have a computer, you can send a message instantly to any other computer in the world. It's more complicated than that, but that's the easy way to put it.
Damn, look like Monica from Doki Doki? What? Dang.
I see. So you're going to send a message to Tara's computer.
Right. I'm going to tell her to come and meet us here. I hope she'll believe it's me.
I'm sure that she'll know, somehow.
I nod, entering Tara's email address into the field. It feels absurdly formal to be sending an email of all things to get in touch with her. I don't think we've ever had an email conversation in our lives. I leave the subject line blank. Anything I could put there would feel comical. I don't really know how to word the rest of this message, so I don't think about it. I just put my fingers to the keys and start to type. Dear Tara, I know this is going to sound kind of hard to believe. I'm so confused. Oh. Yeah, I'm like, why is it not giving me whatever's next? And it's just like doing its own thing now. Because of the magic, I guess. I'm acquainting Abby with modern technology when the sound of loud voices from outside interrupts me mid-sentence, while one very obnoxiously loud voice. I only know one person who can make a racket like that. I grab Abigail's hand and lead her out into the living room just in time to hear Tara and Morgan reach the door.
Stop for a second. We don't know for sure this isn't a trap.
Yeah, but what if it's not? I can't take that chance. I'm going in.
Tara, wait!
The door flies open so hard it bangs against the wall. Tara freezes in the doorway, probably not expecting me to be right here. Or maybe even here at all.
Hey.
Everything I had rehearsed and planned to say in my head is forgotten in an instant. Somehow this feels more unreal than anything else so far. I never had time to doubt any of the stuff that's happened to me. I had plenty of time to doubt that I'd see Tara again. Tara's mouth flaps up and down like a nutcracker statue. I don't think she forms a single coherent word. Morgan approaches from behind and places a protective hand on Tara's shoulder, which seems to reset her. She rubs her eyes as she stares at me. Either she doesn't believe what she's seeing or she's about to cry, maybe both. Out of all the scary faces that they make is from Doki Doki, the little scary faces. Dang.
You changed your look a little bit, huh?
It changed your look a little bit. When she finally speaks, her voice shakes like crazy.
You like it?
Tara gives a slight nod.
It makes you look like a total nerd.
Without another word, she bursts into tears. She doesn't even hesitate a moment before bounding forward like an excited, tear-stained racing dog. I've spent so long worrying about her that seeing her safe and sound in the flesh is almost too much to handle. There's so many things that we left unsaid or unresolved. I'm just glad that there's time to fix that now.
I thought you were dead.
Me too.
We both burst into laughter, still punctuated with sobs. But at least we both have the clarity of mind to tell that this hug has gone on for way too long. When we split apart, she has a big dumb grin on her big dumb face.
Welcome back, Mads.
Good to be back, Tara.
Our reunion over, Morgan finally steps forward, taking Tara's hand in her own. She smiles at me, her expression soft for once.
Hey, Maddie. It's good to see you again.
Her voice is as calm as ever, but the wide, genuine smile on her face tells me that these last couple of weeks have changed her as much as they changed me.
You too, Morgan.
I feel like I should say something more than that, but I know neither of us is much for words. It's nice to have someone else around who feels the same way for once.
Before anything else, there's someone I'd like to introduce you to.
I turn to gesture for Abigail, but at first she's nowhere to be seen. Then I spot a familiar flash of pink and purple lingering by my bedroom door. Right, we've spent so long together that I have forgotten how timid she was when we first met. Her eyes are wide and she wrings her hands, looking from me to Tara and back. Tara and Morgan just look just as shocked once they notice her. I head over to where Abigail is to take her hand.
They're okay. I promise.
She nods, letting herself be led back into the living room.
Tara, Morgan, I'd like you to meet Abigail.
I pause for a moment.
She's my girlfriend.
You heard that, XYZ? She's her girlfriend. Jesus Christ.
Whoa, we do have a lot to catch up on.
She turns to face Abigail.
I'm Tara. I've been friends with Maddie for forever.
It's nice to finally meet you, Tara. I've heard a lot about you.
Hell yeah! All good things, I hope?
Mostly.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Morgan steps forward too.
Morgan, nice to meet you.
Abigail nods politely.
You as well.
So, let's sit down. We've got a lot of catching up to do, and
Abigail moving up in life. Damn, bro. She got a hat now and a girlfriend. What more do you need, right? The four of us move to the couch and sit down. Right as we do, though, there's a loud grumble from beside me. Abigail clutches her stomach, looking absolutely mortified.
What was that? What's happening?
It's hunger, bro. It's been 200 years.
Oh, yeah. We should probably eat something.
Eat.
Her eyes light up.
That's right. I'm hungry.
Morgan and Tara look baffled. I can't blame them for that one.
Like I said, long story. Is there anything to eat? It's been a long time since either of us have had a meal.
I'll make us some breakfast. Cross your fingers for pancake mix.
Not gonna lie, Morgan just reminded me that yesterday I was craving pancakes.
Anyway,
I never did
I
get those
think that's
pancakes.
everything.
Minus the really juicy stuff.
I did have
anyway.
Japanese food today, though. I had chicken katsu with rice, 2 orders of miso soup, California rolls, and shumai.
I'm okay with not hearing about that. Thanks.
Abigail, now finally finished with her meal, wraps her arm around mine and rests her head against me. Morgan sighs and sends Tara and me a meaningful look. She rises and clears her throat.
Abigail, would you mind coming with me for a minute?
Morgan's voice carries a more serious tone that feels like a sudden departure from our lighthearted reminiscing. I knew it couldn't last forever, but I'm hopeful we can return to it soon.
Is something wrong?
No, not at all. But there's something we need to talk about. And besides...
She looks at Tara, then over to me. Her tone might be serious, but her soft expression makes it clear she's not about to deliver any bad news.
These two might need a bit of privacy.
I nod at her as Abigail lets go of my arm. With a quick kiss on the cheek, she stands and walks to Morgan's side. The two of them head towards the bedrooms, leaving Tara and I to stare at each other in silence. We look away from each other awkwardly as I try to think of what to say. Should I speak first? Should I wait for her? What do I say? She knows how much I missed her, but there was so much tension between us before I died. I never had a chance to apologize for hiding Abigail or for how I handled telling her I was going to quit. I take a deep breath and raise my head. I just need to go for it. I've spent enough time waiting to speak. Whatever happens,
I'm
happens.
sorry.
Damn, I like how they got that cool green, blue, and red going.
I shouldn't have.
It was really shitty of me to... I just...
Both slam my mouth shut again. Tara's face reddens as she chuckles softly.
Maybe we should take turns.
As long as you don't mind going first.
She takes a long, overly dramatic breath and closes her eyes.
I know I was shitty to you about leaving. I should have listened to you and accepted it instead of being all bitter and passive-aggressive. And I know I was even shittier once we got evidence. I shouldn't have frozen you out like that.
Maybe a bad choice of words there, Tara.
I mean, I shouldn't have ignored you the way I did. I want you to be a part of Terra Normal. I really do. Trying to exclude you was stupid and impulsive.
She looks me right in the eyes, and I can tell that all her typical bravado is gone. This is pure, naked honesty. It's hard enough for me to manage something like that, but much less her. She's really put her heart into this, and I'm more than grateful for that. You hear how they have that phrase, naked honesty? Naked is a foreshadowing, XYZ, alright? Get excited. I'm sure Saru's got his banana out and ready.
When all of this is over, whatever you decide to do, I won't stand in your way. You know I always want you to be a part of Terra Normal, but you gotta be your own person. And you're my best friend. Thinking I might have lost you forever made me realize I honestly have no idea what I'd do without you. I give you a lot of shit, but I really do love you. I'm so sorry this all happened because I was too much of a screw-up to remember that.
Tara exhales and slumps back in her chair as if the act of apologizing drained all the energy in her body. She's grown so much in the short time we've been here, then again, so have I. I need to make sure I show her the same sincerity in return.
I'm sorry too, Tara. Even if I was mad, I shouldn't have hidden Abigail from you. It made things worse for both of us. And it drove us apart when we should have been getting closer than ever. But more than that, I shouldn't have set this whole thing into motion the way I did.
The memory of our fight back home is painful, but I can't keep trying to run away instead of dealing with it head on. It's not fair to either of
I
us.
should have told you I was thinking about leaving and why I was thinking it. I should have talked things over with you instead of dropping the bomb on you right before we left. When I thought I was going to be stuck here forever, I realized you were the person I'd miss more than anyone else. Even more than my family. I don't know what I'm going to do when we get back. I still have a lot to figure out. But I do know that whatever happens, we'll always be best friends.
Hi.
As she struggles to think of what to say next, I gently put my arms around her in a reassuring hug. We've said enough for now. She hugs back, squeezing a bit too hard. We stay that way until it starts to get awkward, as hugs between us tend to do. I pull away and sit back down, a bit embarrassed.
So, are we good?
I let out a deep breath, releasing the anxiety that had been twisting my stomach and nuts. Whatever happens next, I know it'll be easier without that dragging me down.
Yeah. I think we're good.
Are we good enough for me to start calling you the ghost with the most?
The ghost with the most, dang.
Don't push it.
Alright guys, Morgan's story. I end up bringing Abigail into Tara's room. The two of us carefully step over the pile of clothes on the floor to sit on the bed. She bounces on it a few times. I don't think she's used to springs.
Having fun?
How do you people sleep in these? Aren't you afraid of just bouncing out of bed?
It's not that bouncy. It's just comfortable.
I suppose tomorrow I can let you know if I agree. So, what is it you wanted to talk about?
It's
hard to put into words. No matter what I had been preparing myself for, a conversation like this wasn't part of it.
It's about family. Our family.
I told you, XYZ. They're family. They got the same eyes. I knew it.
You're a Dulcing as well?
I'm a Fisher, actually. But a change in last name doesn't change the fact that we're part of the same family.
Hey, she's a what? What's Abigail? Darlsing? Some shit? First, I couldn't believe it. When Maddie and Abigail were telling their story, I thought that there must have been some sort of misunderstanding or that I'd heard wrong. But the details all matched up, not just with what Evelyn told me over the years she tried to break my spirit, but with the notes and journals left behind by those before me.
So she hasn't changed after all these years. It's still us.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be next. There isn't anyone else. No siblings or aunts or uncles. Just me and her.
She makes a sound of sympathy and moves closer to me on the bed, touching my shoulder gently. I tense up, almost shaking hard enough to shrug her off, but she remains. I don't want to be that person anymore. That one afraid to let anyone close, physically or emotionally.
I'm sorry.
Just not. I can tell that she doesn't know what to say either, and that's
Do you
fine.
mind if I ask you something?
Sure.
Why didn't you leave? Back in my time, it wasn't even a possibility. There was no way I could have escaped. We wouldn't have gotten very far if we'd tried. But now, Madison's told me about all sorts of fantastic machines and devices. Surely you could have gone.
I shrugged. Of course I considered it, dreamed about it even, but there's no way she could know that, and besides...
I thought about running away many times. I thought of a lot of different ways to make sure she couldn't hurt me anymore. But the same thing stopped me every time. She wouldn't just give up because I'm not around. She'd find someone else, just like she always has. And they'd die instead.
I braced for her to tell me that's ridiculous and that I should have put myself first, or to burst into tears at the very notion. Instead she laughs. It's not a happy laugh though.
I see. I understand. Truly. I chose to die for someone else's sake as well. Someone I cared about very deeply.
Abigail's Morgan's mom? Bro, Evelyn got the body of the mom, bro. Abigail's like a... I don't even know if Abigail's related. I mean, like, Abigail's like a great aunt, basically. Because I don't think she ever had kids. So her sister, the betrayer, basically, probably had kids. And her sister is like Morgan's ancestor, I guess. She sighs wistfully, remembering days long gone. Can't help but smile the same way that she laughed.
I see I'm just carrying on the family tradition then.
Let's make sure it ends with you.
I nod. It will, one way or another.
I am glad, though, to know that her family turned out to have people as wonderful as you.
Oh, look at this sweet stuff. XYZ. I had a feeling she was going to say something sweet like this.
I'm really not anything that special.
I disagree. Not just anyone could have done what you have.
She leans forward, wrapping her arms around me in a gentle hug. This time I don't hesitate. I hug her back. Family. It's never been a word that really meant much to me. All I've ever had was the monster in my home. Now though I realize that that's no longer the case. We separate and I gesture towards the door. She nods. Together we leave the room and rejoin the rest of our family. Everybody's family, XYZ. Crying, bro. I'm crying. Alright, we're back to Maddie. We're back to Maddie. XYZ, you crying too, bro? Abigail and Morgan come out of Tara's room and join us, both smiling. I'll have to ask her what they talked about later tonight. But right now, I'm just enjoying the moment. I feel more at peace than at any time since arriving in Eisenfeld. Even during the sweetest moments with Abigail, there was still the lingering bleakness of being a ghost. Now, despite the threat of Evelyn, it feels like there's a chance of everything turning out well. As we talk, Morgan's cat comes and hops up on my lap. I would have expected her to take to Abigail, not me. I scratch behind her ears and she leans into the motion, purring contentedly. Tara notices and sits up straight.
Wait a sec. Mads, I just realized. But you haven't met Geladura yet, right?
I have. Back in the shop, right after we arrived. Remember?
Crying
No,
night.
I mean, like, met her. Morgan was right. She really can talk.
Bro, admit it, XYZ. You crying as if this was like the ending of Angel Beats.
She can.
I can.
The cat looks up from my lap. You know what? I just realized that the cat's eyes are the same color as the fairy's skin. Which makes sense because the cat is a fairy, but still. Her tail swishes lazily.
If I feel like it.
Both Abigail and Maddie stare in shock at the talking cat.
Then why didn't you sooner?
It's the first question that comes to mind. Gildor closes her eyes. After a moment, I start to think she's fallen asleep, but then she opens them once more.
I didn't feel like it.
I look over at Morgan sitting across from me.
I guess I owe you an apology.
It's fine. She certainly didn't make it easy to believe.
Gildor stands up, her tail lashing as she strides over to drape herself
It's
across.
fine.
Wait, what the heck? Abigail. In response, Abigail strokes Gildora's fur, looking almost as gleeful as when we had our first meal.
I didn't know if I could trust you. Now I know.
Okay, what's up with Gildor and Abigail, bro? I leave the two of them to their cooling and cuddling and walk over to the front window peering outside. How many times have I stared at the stars these past few nights? Abigail taught me a few constellations, but tonight, it looks like an entirely different sky. I rest my head against the window pane, soaking in the starlight and calm.
Hey, by the way, you said you only came into the village that one time, right?
Yeah, we didn't want to risk it any more than that. Not with how close we came to Evelyn.
Makes sense. You, didn't see anything embarrassing when you were spying on us, right?
We weren't spying! Or at least we weren't trying
You're playing
to.
Overwatch, that's why?
But no. Thank God.
Dang, XYZ. Getting your ass kicked in Overwatch?
For real though, after this is over, but before we leave, you've got to show us some of the cool spots in the forest.
Sure, that'd be fun. Actually, do you want to go right now?
Oh, wait, for real?
I can show you the fairy clearing at least. That's our favorite spot.
How long a walk is it? It's getting kinda late.
Oh, we wouldn't need to walk.
Tara's face slowly morphs from puzzlement to excitement as she realizes what I'm suggesting.
You mean like magic?
I nod.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yo, bro, Tara's kinda cool, not gonna lie. Her enthusiasm startles Geldura, who hops up and runs away. Abigail gestures in vain for her to come back.
You two up for a field trip?
Abigail, still upset at losing her new friend, nods stiffly and says nothing. Bro, this whole chapter, XYZ, is nothing but Abigail being cute, dude. This whole fucking chapter is like the best chapter so far.
Sure.
Geldura traipses back in, returning to Abigail's feet. Abigail perks up immediately.
Would you like to come with us, Miss Jailidora?
I suppose so. Oh, carry me.
Abigail gladly obliges. I lead everyone outside and into the tree line just in case there's anyone watching. I gather everyone into a circle and the four of us lock hands while Geldura perches on Abigail's neck.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
The forest greets me and I respond in kind. It shows us the way to its heart, to the lake. I hold Abigail and Tara's hand tightly and breathe the softest sigh. I thank the forest, then I open my eyes and we're here. As soon as we arrive, I can feel the presence of the fairies in my mind. They're instantly aware of where we are, and I send them all a mental greeting, which is returned right away. Geldura slicks her ears back, and her tail begins to lash harder than before. I wonder if she can feel magic too. Before I can ask, Tara whistles in awe.
Dang, Mads. You really leveled up, huh?
I put all my skill points into magic.
Even Morgan looks dumbstruck, something I'm not used to from her. She tilts her head back, staring in open-mouthed wonder at the glimmering trees and fairy lights.
What is this place? Are we really still in the forest?
Yes. It's a very special grove. It was one of the first places I brought Madison. We came back here many times.
It definitely feels magical. Oh, damn it. I should have brought my camera.
We all head down to the pond. Tara and Morgan gawk at its unfrozen waters, the same way I did when I first saw it. I feel a strange sense of pride seeing them so excited about this place. A loud buzzing sound suddenly fills the air. Before I can warn Tara and Morgan what's about to happen, fairies burst forth from the trees. Tara yelps in shock as they pass over her, wings beating noisily.
Your Majesty! You're back! You returned!
Hello, you three.
It's nice to be greeted so enthusiastically, even if I didn't exactly want to be queen. I wave, expecting the three of them to come to me right away. But to my surprise, the fairies sail right past me and flock around Abigail instead.
Our queen!
Geldura hisses as Abigail shrinks back, looking afraid.
I'm not your queen. She's over there.
Abigail tries to point to me, but the fairies ignore her.
No, you're not. We know you aren't. It isn't you.
One of them reaches for Geldura, and she swats at the fairies with one paw, just like Abigail did when we first encountered them. The fairies react with shocked indignance, their mouths open in identical shapes of puzzlement. They abandon verbal communication and instead emanate a wave of questioning curiosity. Although I can feel it, it's not directed at me. By listening, or rather by feeling, I realize who they're communicating with. Geldura.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Just to be sure I'm right, I communicate a request for confirmation. Despite her discomfort, Gildor returns to me from Abigail's arms and blinking languidly.
Yes, that's right.
Now I'm the one whose jaw drops in shock.
Care to fill us in, Mads?
Cat? Jaladora. Fairy Queen.
Everyone is silent for a moment, even the fairies. Then Abigail clears her throat.
Does that mean I should set you down then?
What? Dang, Abigail, best girl, bro.
No, this is fine.
But Geladora low-key best girl too. A little seed of hope blooms instantly from my heart. The fairies answer my question before I can even think. The seed of hope withers and dies in
Really?
response. I close my eyes tightly. I see Geldor in my mind's eye, and the rest of the world fades away as I speak to her. Once again, the fabrics of time tear and disappear. The fairies guide our voices. Geldor can't be Fairy Queen. Not anymore. Not after what the Moonsick one did to her. Evelyn. The last pieces of the puzzle fall into place. I see it clearly. Evelyn, the rogue fairy, burning under the moonlight. The Fairy Queen ritual gone wrong. Geladora running after Evelyn. And then disappearing. Without realizing it, I've reached out for Geladora, stroking her fur. The fairies and I communicate with the Heart of the Woods to free her and restore her rightful place on the throne. The woods usher forth its strength. The fairies conglomerate around us, the buzzing increasing in frequency until it's a dull hum. I reach within myself, the waxing moon basks the scene, and I gather its light into a pool of my hands. Reaching out, I feel the magic on Geladora begin to vibrate violently. It burns to the touch. Geladora yowls in pain, and all at once the magic shatters and melts away. With a gasp, I'm back to the present. Abigail rushes over to catch me, and the effects of time return. Their interest in their obsolete queen waning, the fairies clump back up and get ready to depart.
We'll see you again soon. When the moon is at its brightest. One way or another.
With that cheerful reminder to take off, fading out of sight, I separate their thoughts from my own and push them away.
Madison, what happened?
Take a deep breath and steady myself. Abigail scoops the pained Gelador into her arms, petting and cooing.
It's a long story. I'll tell you later. Jaladora, are you alright?
Yes. It was foolish to think you, new Spring Queen, could dispel such a powerful curse on a waxing moon.
Geldor turns away and grooms herself. I feel a rush of guilt. Tara touches my arm slightly.
You okay, Mads?
Yeah, I'm fine.
She grins and pats my back, trying to ease the mood. She stretches wide and lets out a huge nervous laugh.
Oh, good. Well, that wasn't like anything I expected. The fairies especially.
What did you think they'd be like?
I have no idea. But it definitely didn't involve your cat being a queen.
I would have gotten you the nicer cat food if I'd known.
Yo, Gelato, how come you never told us you were a fairy queen?
Geldor doesn't even deign to look at
You
Tara.
never asked.
As soon as we arrive back at the cabin, Abigail makes a mad dash toward the couch and flops down on it with a loud thud. I'm a little surprised by how quickly she covers the distance. Geldor leaps from her arms and trots over to the kitchen, immediately sticking her face in her food bowl.
Oh, my feet.
Are they sore? I can imagine walking around again after so long might be a bit draining.
No, it's not that. It's these boots.
Abigail kicks off her boots and sends them flying, eliciting a yelp of surprise from Tara as one of the boots nearly hits her head dead on.
Your feet are bigger than mine. Do you have any idea what it feels like to get snow in your boots for the first time in 200 years?
Dang, bro, Maddie got big feet, bro. How you feel about that, XYZ? The three of us shudder in unison at the thought. Tara takes another step away from the boot as if she's afraid of it infecting her with cold feet.
I can tell you right now that when we do go to America, I'm going to be spending the entirety of the winter months indoors.
I can't help grinning at her words, even if it wasn't entirely serious. That's the first time I've heard her speak about our future together with that much certainty. I make my way to the couch and sit down beside her, putting my arm around her without a second thought. She leans against me, our bodies perfectly aligned. Reunited at last, the four girls spend a precious, relaxed moment together at the cabin. Abigail and Maddie listen to Tara tell a story while Morgan watches lovingly from the kitchen.
When the summer months roll around, I am definitely taking you ladies to the beach.
Abigail instantly perks up at that, clasping her hands together and leaning towards Tara with a huge grin on her face.
Yes! Goodness! The sand, the sun. I'd love to see the ocean.
Morgan seems a little less enthusiastic about the prospect of the beach, her face and expression more of concern than excitement.
If we go to the beach, I'm going to end up looking like a lobster.
Yeah, but you'd be a really hot lobster.
Try as hard as I can to suppress a groan, but Morgan and Abigail both chuckle. Abigail and I can understand, but the fact that Morgan genuinely finds this kind of thing endearing is baffling.
Thanks, babe. So, Abigail, what's the most interesting invention you've seen since you came back?
I suppose... I haven't seen much of it, but the internet seems like a wonderful tool. I love the idea of being connected and sharing thoughts, feelings, and creativity with everyone around the world.
My girl! There isn't a single person more qualified to teach you about the internet than I am. We are gonna have a blast.
There is no way I'm going to let you be the one to show her around the web. You get into enough trouble on your own.
But Madison, doesn't Tara perform on the internet? I assume that means she's very knowledgeable about its workings.
Tara raises an eyebrow and leans down to place her hands on the table, staring closely at Abigail.
So Mads told you about Terranormal, huh?
Oh no.
She told me some things. I know you tell stories about supernatural occurrences and that you take them very seriously, even when they're quite obviously untrue.
Did she now?
Sweetie, maybe we shouldn't...
And she told me that people all over the world enjoy watching you. It sounds like you must be an incredible storyteller.
Nice save.
Tara breaks into the same massive grin she always puts on when she knows she's found a new audience.
You don't know the half of it, Abby. I've got a million of them.
I roll my eyes and lean back against the couch. Abigail just moves closer, ready to hear whatever Tara's going to say next. Just looking at her feels healing. If listening to Tara's stories makes her happy, then Tara can tell as many stories as she wants. Not that I ever tell Tara that, of course. One story turns to another. Morgan and I will chime in with a correction every now and then, but we mostly let Tara work her magic. Abigail keeps asking questions and Tara keeps eating them up. If Morgan's anything like me, she must enjoy seeing the girl she loves acting so happy. I know I am. I don't know what's going to happen after this. We're still in danger. We still don't have a way out. But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy our time together, all of us. I just wish I could shake the feeling that this is the last time we'll have this chance. We stay like that for a while, telling stories, making jokes, and most importantly, talking about our future. Whether it happens or not, talking about it puts all of us at ease. We talk about sharing technology with Abigail, getting her and Morgan new wardrobes, where we're going to go on dates when we get back. In those moments, it all feels real, like we're remembering moments that haven't happened yet. Eventually, the sun begins to dip below the horizon. We have another huge meal, to Abigail's delight. Afterwards, Tara tells her even more stories as Morgan and I clean up after them. I'm not sure if the four of us are going to stay in one apartment for long when we get back, but I think I'd really enjoy being around Tara and Morgan. Not as much as I enjoy being around Abigail, of course, but enough enjoyment to make me want to stick with them. In time, Abigail starts to yawn and blink warily as Tara talks. She hasn't had a chance to sleep since she got her body back, so she's no doubt unprepared for the strength of the body's need to rest. When the sun finally sets, we say our goodbyes and head for our room. I'm already looking forward to tomorrow. I close the door to Tara's room and lean against it to steady myself. I'm still trying to process everything that's happened. I have family, real family, family that doesn't want to hurt me. And I'm not just talking about Abigail. When I was watching the three of them talk and laugh together, I felt like I was home. Like this is where I've always belonged.
Hey, you okay?
Tara's sitting on the bed in front of Morgan, worried.
Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry, just trying to wrap my head around all this.
I getcha. There's a lot to unpack. You can take your time with it. I guess that means now isn't really a good time to talk, huh?
What do you mean?
I wanted to talk to you about something, or ask you about something, I don't know. It can wait if you still want to work on getting your stuff sorted.
Is something wrong?
No, I mean, I don't think so. I've just been thinking about some stuff.
Like...
Tara takes a deep breath and scoots back on the bed. She curls her legs up towards herself, taking on a surprisingly subdued posture.
It's... well... You know how Abby's been calling us a couple all day? Even though we told her we're not?
Yeah, she's not very good at taking hints.
I'm not sure if that's it. I think she's just, like, direct. Kinda like you. Runs in the family, I guess. I know we agreed that we were going to stay friends, or whatever you'd call this, until this is all over. I get that. But after seeing the two of them, I'm not sure if I feel like that anymore. We've still got a lot of shit left to deal with. We still don't have a plan. But I think that's okay?
She shrugs half-heartedly and looks down. I want to give her a hug, but I can't move.
Abby put a name on this thing we have when we couldn't, and maybe she's wrong, but I don't want her to be. I really love you, Morgan. I don't want to deny that. I want to be closer than just friends that love each other.
My parents are loud. If you guys hear my parents in the background, let me know.
Don't.
The word leaves my mouth before I have a chance to think about it.
What?
Please don't ask.
Ooh, damn. Uh-oh. Morgan ain't having it.
I'm sorry. I thought...
It's not that I don't want to. That's why I'm asking you not to say it. Because I know I'll say yes if you do.
She looks up at me. I can practically hear the cogs turning in her head.
Why don't you want to say yes?
People get hurt when they get close to me. I don't even like having friends because of how guilty I feel when Evelyn gets in the way. I'm already so close to you. Closer than I've ever been to anyone. But if I put a label on it, a part of me just feels like it would put you in more danger.
Feels so stupid saying it out loud. It's just a word. Why am I so afraid of a word?
Besides, I've never had a girlfriend before. I don't know what it could mean for me. Or for you.
What do you mean? What about the one that taught you how to knit?
Oh no, how could I have forgotten about that lie? It was just so easy to say back then. It made me seem like I knew what I was doing. Made it easier to ignore what happened with those girls. Tara's understood everything about me, but I still don't want to tell her about what I did with them or why I did it.
Hey, it's cool. I've had plenty of girls lie about having girlfriends before. It's just a thing people do. We can just forget about it. We're past lies now, right?
Her words stab at me like needles. It's not like she's trying to force this out of me. I could even tell myself that this isn't a lie, that it's just not telling her about something she never asked about.
There's more to it than a simple lie.
Wait, what am I saying? What am I doing?
There are still things I haven't told you about me. About what I've done. Things that could make you change your mind.
Tara manages a weak smile. It's hard to be reassuring when you don't know what you're reassuring someone about.
If you don't want to date, that's okay. I get it. But nothing you can tell me is going to change how I feel about you.
She sits forward again and pats the spot on the bed next to her, but right now, I'd rather be miles away from her, not closer. I hate feeling like this. I finally learned how to get close to people, and now I'm back to pushing her away.
Do you remember what I called myself the first time we talked to Jailadora?
A shell. But you know that's bullshit now, right? We're gonna make sure Evelyn can't get in your head anymore.
Evelyn isn't the only one that made me feel that way.
My throat feels dry. I need something to drink, but I know what'll happen if I stop. If this closes, it won't open again.
I didn't learn how to knit from an ex-girlfriend. I learned from Hannah. I had feelings for her. We were close. But she cut off all contact with me when I told her how I felt. Word travels fast in Eisenfeld. Within a week, everyone in the village knew I was gay. That's when bad things started happening to Hannah. She slipped on a patch of ice and broke her leg. A few days later, her dog died. The next week, she came down with the worst flu any of us had ever seen. I knew it was Evelyn's doing, but who was going to believe me? As far as they were concerned, all this happened because she rejected me. I'm pretty sure some of the older people in the village still think I'm a witch.
Bro, she was in love with Hannah, bro. Clench my fist, digging my nails as far into my palm as they'll go before my limbs freeze up. As far as they'll go until the icy hex within me takes over again.
Nobody talked to me for a month. You told me that you spoke to some girls our age back when you were doing interviews. Did you ask them about me?
Yeah, we did.
What did they say?
Nothing really bad or anything. One of them seemed closer to you than the other two, and her friend was kind of teasing her about it. Just typical stuff.
As if any of them have the right to mock each other. They're all the
I
same.
probably slept with her.
I wait for Tara to voice her disbelief, but she doesn't say a word.
After Hannah got better, girls started coming by the store. They always had some kind of excuse. They'd start dropping hints. Talk about how they'd always been curious about what it was like to be with a girl. How they didn't have anywhere to be that day.
Damn, you hearing this, XYZ? They stopped by the store to buy some pussy, bro. This is literally like some prostitution shit. I still can't look at her. Any rational person would judge me for this. I know I've judged myself plenty.
They always left right after. Most of them wouldn't talk about it. They'd just go back to their normal lives. I guess some of them talked, though. Soon enough, I got a reputation.
You got a reputation, bro.
I knew I was being used. I resigned myself to being a shell. So I let them use that shell.
I don't know when I started moving, but before I know it, I'm standing by the bed.
Evelyn never let me feel like this body belonged to me. She chose my clothes. She chose my style. She even chose what I do with my hair. It was her body, and she wanted it how she liked it.
Can't keep standing. As much as I want to push away, I sit down next to Tara, looking at her face. I can't tell what she's thinking. My mind runs through every worst case scenario as I make myself push
But
onward.
things have been different with you. For the first time, sex started to mean something. Being open started to seem possible. Being myself started to seem possible. But all I know about myself is how easy it is for other people to use me. If I go out into the world and live for myself, I don't know what kind of person I'm going to become.
The shaking has started to subside, replaced by a painful knot in my gut. Almost there. I can make it.
What if I end up becoming someone you can't love? What if my shell is the only worthwhile part of me?
Without warning, Tara throws her arms around me and pulls me close. I wrap my arms around her waist without even
You're
thinking.
not a shell, Morgan. You're the furthest thing from that. Just because someone tried to make you something other than yourself, or because people took advantage of you, that can't destroy the real you. That you has always been there. And I know it a lot better than you might think.
She nuzzles my neck and I can feel the dampness of her cheeks. She's crying.
You've got passion, you've got personality, you've got conviction, you've got so much awesome stuff in you that I couldn't name it all if you gave me a whole week. All of that is the real you. And that's the girl I'm in love with. The girl I want to be with no matter what. And I want to put a name on it so you know that'll never change.
You're gonna put a name on it, XYZ. We pull apart and she wipes the tears from her eyes.
I don't really know a non-cheesy way to put it, so... Will you be my girlfriend?
If you're okay with everything I've done, with everything I still have to do, then how could I say no?
Tara instantly lets out a long wheeze and clutches her hand to her chest. Is she okay?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Just give me a minute. I feel like my body's trying to overcome being allergic to commitment right now.
I awkwardly pat her on the shoulder. It's obvious that neither of us have any idea what you're supposed to do in a situation like this. Tara grabs me by the waist and gently leads us over to the bed. I press my forehead against hers and for once allow myself to be comforted. She strokes my hair. Time slows to a standstill. We kiss. This could be our last night together, but in a way, it's our first night together too. And I'm going to make the most of it. The sun is long gone, but the moon is bright enough to illuminate her smile. I'm smiling too. Close my eyes and let myself relax. I think I might actually sleep well tonight. But as always, luck isn't on my side.
Hey,
What?
do you hear that?
I strain my ears and see if I can sense anything out of the ordinary, but apart from the usual sounds of the forest, it's silent.
I can't hear anything. Maybe you dreamed it?
Unless this is a dream, it's definitely real. I can hear it right now, I swear.
I sit up in bed and look over at her. She's already most of the way up, head swaying as she looks for the source of whatever she's hearing.
Well, what does it sound like?
Kinda like,
She makes a strange whooshing noise and twirls her arms around. I don't see how arm movements are part of a sound, but I don't understand what she's talking about no matter how she put it. She looks back at me for confirmation, but all I can do is shrug. In response, she jumps out of bed and starts pulling her clothes on.
I'm gonna go see what it is. You coming?
Whether or not this sound is real, I'm not about to let her go off on her own. I'm promised I'd protect her, and that includes protecting her from mysterious noises.
Right behind you.
Besides, as powerful as Maddie is, there's still a chance Evelyn could be trying something. I follow her out of bed and pull on my shoes. She gives me a quick grin in response, excited to have me along for the ride again. Tara bolts out the door as I finish tying my laces. A second later, I hear her banging on the door to Maddie and Abigail's room.
Mets! Are you guys making that noise?
Pull on my sweater and walk into the hall in time to see Maddie slowly open the door of her room, covering herself with a blanket.
Tara. It's nearly 2 in the morning. Whatever this is, can it wait till morning?
Come on, not you too. I thought it was coming from your room.
Abigail's voice calls out from the room, along with the rustling of sheets.
What was coming from our room?
Are you kidding me?
She turns and storms away from the door, moving out into the kitchen. I nod apologetically at Maddie before following Tara.
Babe, come on. Let's just go back to bed. I'm sure that whatever it is can wait until morning.
It keeps getting louder though. What if it's something dangerous? Maybe Evelyn has her own evil forest spirit and she's riding it towards the cabin or something.
There's a pang in my heart. It's cold and familiar. If the sound is that loud, but none of us can hear it, maybe it's only meant for her to hear. As I try to figure out how to get her back to bed, Maddie and Abigail join me in the hallway.
So, what you doing this time?
She woke up hearing some kind of whooshing noise that I couldn't hear. I thought she'd just imagined it, but she can still hear it.
Maddie rubs her chin, puzzled. Abigail looks out at Tara with a worried expression. I can't shake the unsettling feeling in my chest either.
This isn't the first time something like this has happened, so I'd be inclined to dismiss it. But with everything else that's happened this month...
Before she can finish her sentence, Tara turns towards the door.
There!
You
It's
know
right
what? Sorry, you're gonna have to give me a list, man. Because I don't know if you mean, like, just candy in general, or if there are, like, specific Halloween candies. Because usually I just think, like, Halloween, the number one thing I want is chocolate, obviously. Because I don't really like candy. Like, I don't like lollipops and stuff. So I want chocolate. And my favorite chocolates would be like a Milky Way or a Kit Kat, because, you know, that's the chocolate you're gonna get, right? Milky Way, Kit Kat, Snickers, Twix, Crunch. You're not gonna get like a fucking Ghirardelli or a Godiva or a Lind. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get like the high-end chocolates. But if I had to pick a candy, you know, I could pick a candy, but give me some multiple choice options. What are my options for candy? Are you doing anything for Halloween, Saru? Like, part of me wanted to stream a game for Halloween, you know what I mean? Like, not too much of a horror game, but I guess still in the horror category. But it's like, it's a $50 game, so I want to wait for the price to drop. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just not going to do anything for Halloween. There's a parade. There's a parade on Saturday, next Saturday, but it's like at 4 p.m. I just don't think that's a good time for me. If it would have been like a little earlier, then maybe. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do anything. I don't really like chocolate. How do you not like chocolate? Chocolate's like the best thing in the world, dude. I literally got a chocolate mousse cake today. Even though, you know what? I told you guys last week that, the bakery where I live, they started selling lemon mousse cake, right? So I bought another one today, and they changed the recipe. So one thing that my parents noticed is that last week, I guess they used whipped cream, and they put a cherry on top. Now there's no cherry, and they used like a different cream. Like my mom thought it was buttercream. So I don't know. I'm gonna get another one tomorrow and see what it's like. Because I got it for my parents this time, not for myself. But yeah. I might be going to a convention and be back on Halloween Day. Bro, Saru, you seem like the type of guy that likes, or at least doesn't mind going places. So I got a question for you. Would you like to be my stand-in for the staff retreat? You can go on my behalf. It's not that I don't like it. I'm just not a big fan of it. I always need something to drink when I eat chocolate. I guess I'm kind of the same way. Cause like, if I have chocolate, I want milk with it. I don't know. I feel like chocolate and milk just go so well together.
Tara, don't! What if it's...
Oh no, 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 no. I'm an idiot. Why didn't I figure it out sooner?
Tara, stay away from the door!
She doesn't look back. As she takes another step towards the door, I will myself to start moving again.
Now you guys are actually gonna be able to see what I'm talking about. You're gonna feel so dumb for doubting me.
I'm running towards her, but it's too late. She grabs the handle and throws the door open.
Wait, what?
There's nothing outside. Maybe that sight will be enough to bring her back to her senses.
The sound's gone. It was right there.
She turns back to look at me. I'm only a couple steps away, and I can see the expression on her face. She's terrified.
Babe, what?
A flash of light fills the room. Oh shit, it's flash grenade, guys. Modern Warfare. I'm stopped dead in my tracks as I raise my arm to cover my eyes. The light dissipates and my eyes slowly readjust. In the haze, my fears are confirmed. She's gone. Tara's gone. I'm frozen. I can't process what's happening. Hold on, guys. I need a tissue. No way. I want to do nothing. How's that going for you, Saru? Are you doing alright? Because I know you took like that. Or you wanted to take a month off from streaming. If you ever want to talk in the DMs, let me know. But I hope you're doing alright. I'm not sure how long the tears start rolling down my face before I notice them. Maddie and Abigail look at me in silence, and then I start screaming. I've never made a sound like this. It's an angry roar that fills the cabin.
No! Morgan, It was supposed to be me!
It was supposed to be me. So is this it, guys? You think Evelyn, like, possessed Tara now? It's happening again just like everyone before her. I love her, and now, because of me, I collapse to the ground.
Please.
Hot tears fall from my cheeks to the floor below. I feel a pair of arms wrap around me and a voice in my ear.
Morgan, it's okay. It'll be okay.
This is crazy, dude. I slowly turn towards her. She and Maddie both stand close to me. I can see how worried they are for Tara and for me. Maddie puts her hand on my shoulder. I flinch, but I don't pull away.
She's still alive.
Okay, Tara's still alive.
It. Whatever just happened didn't kill her, but it did move her. I can't figure out where yet, but I can sense her. Somehow.
If we can sense her, then she must be in the forest,
You're sure?
maybe.
I'm sure. We can find her.
Tara's stupid for not staying away from the doors.
I
That's
think I know
true.
where she might be.
Where?
If it was Evelyn who took her, she most likely brought her to the church. That's where she performed the ritual to...
She trails off, but I know what she's going to say. The transfer ritual. She wants Tara's body. Bro, this is Lou, bro. Evelyn, like, 80 years old, and she wants Tara's body, dude?
But why her? That's what she was raising me for. Why would she take her?
I'm not sure, but I've got a feeling there's only one way to find out. I'd hoped we'd have enough time to come up with an actual plan before we had to face her. But we can't just let her have Terra.
I'm already heading for the door. Maddie and Abigail follow close
We
behind.
can figure something out in the way. Let's go.
We'll think of something. We have to. The time is going to be different. I'm not going to let Evelyn win again. I'm getting Tara back no matter the cost, and this time I'm going to make sure Evelyn never hurts anyone again. For better or for worse, this is the end. Is this it, guys? Is this chapter 6? Oh, this is chapter 6. Yeah, hold on, guys. Let me... Shit. I want to, like, reposition myself, like, change settings, but then I feel like I'll fuck something up and then the stream will probably go down. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. You know what? Let me just grab something different to sit on. That might help. I got, like, this, I'll tell you guys in a minute anyway. Alright, let's see if this works. So, I got this yoga block because I heard that if you are on a chair, right? And then you sit on top of a yoga block, so the yoga block is between yourself and the chair, and you sit crisscross applesauce, legs crossed, it forces your back to straighten, which is like a better posture, obviously. So let's see if that works, because I need better posture right now. My posture is like shit during this whole stream, and I'm feeling it. Shorter than the last? Yeah, this chapter was shorter. Where are we at right now? Sorry, let me check. We're an hour and a half into stream. Usually these chapters are like 2.5 hours, so maybe this will be a short one too. I don't even have time to be disoriented before I hit the stone ground hard. I struggle to pick myself up and stand, but before I can, footsteps approach, Evelyn's of course, and I'm hauled to my feet. She does it with one hand. She's way stronger than she looks.
Hello, Tara.
Is it just me or does Evelyn's hair look paler, like it's lost some color or something? It looked more orangey before, now it's got like more tints of white to it, and gray. Unless that was there before. As expected, we're in the church. She drags me over and throws me onto the altar. I try to resist, but my limbs won't move.
Hey! Thanks for the ride.
I'm scared, more scared than I've ever been in my whole life, but I don't want her to have the satisfaction of knowing it. She walks away out of sight, although I can still hear her close
They're
by.
gonna come for me, you know. We figured out your whole plan. They're probably already on their way.
Let them. I'll kill them too.
Her tone is casually disinterested. She can't even give me the courtesy of pretending she cares. I wish I could move my head to see her, but I can't. I can't move any part of me other than my
It's
mouth.
always such a nice feeling to return here. Such a sense of renewal and energy. Although, I imagine right now, you don't feel the same way.
I don't know. I'm digging the ambience.
I'm about to die and I'm making jokes. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? We had a plan, one with a good chance of working. I know that Mads and the rest won't abandon me. They'll just switch it up a little, same as if she'd taken Morgan like we expected. Honestly, it's probably better for everyone that Morgan's the one who's still free right now. She's less likely to screw up something than I am. Still, it's all I can do to suppress the little voice inside me telling me to be afraid, to acknowledge that I'm going to die, or worse.
Really? You should be thanking me.
For what? I must have missed it.
Because by dying here, you've given poor Morgan another chance. If she runs away now, I have no more need of her. I'll let her live. Of course, if she turns up here with any delusions of grandeur, she'll die along with the rest of them.
A chill runs up my spine, because I know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that there's no way she won't come for me, that she won't run away. Still, the way that Evelyn can talk so cruelly about her own daughter makes it hard for me to even keep up my attitude. I mean, it's not really her daughter.
You really don't feel anything, do you? You raised her, you lived with her, and even after all that...
Finally! You get something right. I don't feel anything for her. You got something wrong, too.
Evelyn halts and then stalks closer to the altar, close enough that I can see her wildly dilated pupils, the razor-sharp points on her
I
fangs.
didn't raise her. I cultivated her. From the minute she was born, I prepped her for this fate, to be a worthy vessel. How could I have known that a much more useful one would arrive at my doorstep? Just days away from my ascension.
Now she takes a step back, letting the moonlight fall across her. She arches her back like a cat, enjoying it. She raises an arm, and I'm lifted into the air like a circus performer, suspended from nothing. My arms are snapped to my sides. I struggle as hard as I can, but I still can't move at all. I can't even flail around. Still, her words pique my curiosity, and I'm dying to know what she meant. Since I might be dying anyway, I may as well ask.
More useful how?
She grins.
Because this night is very, very special. For years, centuries even, I've whiled away my time here in Eisenfeld. It's amused me to no end. But I've grown bored of it. I desire to see more of the world.
Find love on the best dating site. Well, that doesn't seem good. I think I have to actually sign in order to delete that comment or block that user or whatever bot. So let me sign in. Okay. Should be blocked now.
And while any human body would do, I suppose, there's merit in one such as yourself. One with influence and fame.
I don't even know the words to convey how disgusted I feel. It's not enough for her to steal my body, but she also wants to pretend to be me. I think the horror I feel must show on my face because she smirks as she does so. Her skin starts to shimmer and shake, like there's light just underneath it. A thin thread of ethereal matter, like the spell that she used to bring me here, ekes into existence. It stretches between her hand and my chest. The second it comes in contact with me, I feel all the strength is sapped out of me like I'm being sedated. I hope I'm only passing out and not dying. I'm not sure if the two feel different. It would suck extra hard if I was dying though, because then my last sight would be Evelyn sneering cruelly. Just before it all goes black, she manages to get in one final
What an
time.
ironic fate for you, don't you think? You came out here seeking magic. And now...
Been a while since you've seen a bot. I know I get bots like sometimes on my videos. Oh crap. I just closed YouTube. I get bots on my videos, but I don't think I've ever seen one in a YouTube live stream. I've seen them on Twitch streams, I guess, but not in a YouTube live stream. So that was new.
You found it.
We're up and ready to go nearly the instant that Tara disappears. It's a shock, of course, but one that messes up all of our plans. I walk to the front door, which is still open and banging in the
I'm
wind.
going to fucking kill her if she hurts Tara.
Tara will be fine. She's tough. Besides, we've
They
got a
keep
plan,
saying they've got a
right?
plan, but I don't know. Do any of you guys remember them actually sharing a plan? Because I remember them several times saying, we don't have a plan, but we'll figure it out type of thing. After a long moment, I nod.
Right.
Maddie turns back to face Abigail, who's half hidden by the bedroom door.
Are you sure you want to go, sweetheart? You can stay here.
Of course not. There's no way you're doing this alone. I'm just a little nervous, that's all.
Me too. I'm a lot nervous, actually. We'll be fine, though.
If she keeps saying that, it'll be true, right? I wish I could believe it. I wonder if Maddie even does. I scoop up Galdor and wait outside. We need to leave now, but I force myself not to rush them along. A minute later, they follow me outside. They run together, passing familiar scenery. We hurried out into the woods. Despite some wind and fog, the night is relatively
Are
clear.
you sure you don't want me to just take you to the church? I could have us there in a second.
I know, but she can't know about your powers yet. If we arrive too fast, then Evelyn will know something's up.
It would be nice to take the easy way like that, but we can't do anything rashly, not if it might hurt Tara in the long run.
Right.
We have to wait until her soul is out of its body. That's when we'll send the signal.
Do you know how long that'll last? Like, how long it'll be exposed?
I have no idea. I hope it won't be instant.
You hope?
I nod. I wish I knew more, I really do, but it's magic, and magic is rarely predictable. That's the only thing that I can say with confidence about it. I'm not sure what more I should say. This is where we'll have to part. Even though I'm making the rest of my journey on foot, Maddie and Abigail will need to use magic to get to the fairy clearing. Before we do, though, there's one last thing I need to say.
Maddie? I know there isn't really time, but I need to say this, since I might not get another chance to.
Gildor nuzzles my chin, reassuring me.
I'm sorry. That doesn't even come close to describing it, but it's all that I can say. For bringing you out here, getting you involved in all of this. I never imagined any of it would turn out this way. So if you still hate me, I understand. I just wanted you to know.
Feels good to have the words out there. I've spent so much time apologizing these past few weeks, but it's still a bit of a relief every time.
Morgan. Well, first of all, I accept your apology. But I promise, I never hated you. It was my fault for acting like such a bitch when we first got here. And as for everything else, well, some of it might have been Tara's fault, but a lot of it was my fault too. So, let's get this over with. We'll save Tara, take care of Evelyn, and then we'll all go home. Simple, right?
I just nod again. I'm not sure I can talk right now, not without crying, and I hate crying. I wish it were that simple. I hope it will be that simple. But it rarely is. I swallowed a lump in my throat. I have to say something. Alright, Star and XYZ. I promise I'll make it up to you. Nope. One way or another, it ends tonight. Or you're right. I think we're gonna go with you're right. It has the best, like, picture. Everybody together. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys want to vote? This isn't like Twitch. I can't let you guys do a poll. Can't let you guys do a poll, sadly. It's between the last two, though. I think the first one sucks. One way or another ends tonight just shows Morgan being angry. Promise I'll make it up to you looks depressing, like they've already lost. You're right, looks like the best choice. Get that best ending. Dang. What do you mean it's weird they would have that?
You're right.
They gave us choices 3 times.
It's simple.
I take a deep breath, clearing my head as best I can. I've been waiting my entire life for this. My entire bloodline has led me to this point. A chance to end all the pain I've endured to save someone I love. To make sure the countless people who carry this burden before me will be avenged, and to make sure that no one else will get hurt. How it goes from here isn't just up to me, it's up to all of us. Around us, the wind quickens and grows in intensity. The bright full moon looms high over us. One last time I nod at Maddie and Abigail.
Let's go.
This is hardly a plan, it's barely more than an idea. It relies far too much on luck and everything going our way, but it's all we have. The furious wind tells me that I'm in the right place, as if there were any doubt. When I approach the doors of the church, they blast open. I've been expected. I don't waste any time, I rush in. Tara floats in midair, suspended by invisible magic. She lies prone, but with her arms and legs apparently locked in place. She looks dead. A colorful cloud floats above her, with a long tail spiraling back towards her body. I don't even need to be told, I know that it's her soul. Thrashes about as much as a cloud can, but is seemingly locked out. I'm saying second? Oh, I went with the third. Below Evelyn stands hunched, with her back to me. A trail of malevolent white magic tethers her to Tara. Evelyn's appearance has changed drastically, becoming more monstrous. Okay, she got all white hair now. Her body begins to take on icy qualities, while her face becomes disfigured. Her hair is an icy white. Moonlight pours through the window behind them, piercing Tara and illuminating Evelyn. When she hears me enter, she stands up straight, her back cracking obscenely. She's disgusting.
Morgan. You came.
Ew, look at her mouth, dude. She's nasty. Her voice is the voice I know. It's raspy and inhuman. It echoes around the church, louder than it should be, dragging itself from corner to corner.
I knew you
Enjoy your
would.
shower, XYZ.
You always do.
Her body spasms and twitches as if electrified. Still, her voice remains steady and flat.
Of course I came. You're not taking Tara. You're not taking anyone else ever again.
It takes so long to read chat, my bad. She laughs, but it sounds like a choke. There's no humor in it. It's inhuman.
Do you know how many times I've heard? And yet, here we are, predictable. You humans always are. Curiously so. You have all this freedom, but you don't know how to use it. Pity, pity, pity. Soon I'll have taken the body of your friend, and you will be dead. And I will be far, far gone. You see, I've grown tired of playing pretend out here in the woods. I've decided it's time for something new. And Tara is going to give that to me.
You'll still be a pretender.
Evelyn sees to notice Gildour for the first time, and she licks her bloody lips.
You. So, you're here too. Fitting.
Evelyn's gaze narrows, then her eyes widen once again. She points imperiously at Gildour and I, and the stone walls of the church rumble in
I
response.
can tell. You're still no queen. No more than that brat who stands beside you. You're still powerless. Tell me.
Who's the pretender now?
Who's the pretender now? A brick detaches itself from the ceiling, plummeting down straight towards us. I dart out of the way, barely managing to avoid it. Gildour yells as I squeeze her harder than intended.
Just as pitiful as she is. What did you think you could do? How did you think you had any chance? Or is it just human nature to try? Even if you're doomed to fail.
The moon is at its peak, or close to it. If she waits much longer, she won't be able to complete the ritual, and she'll have done our job for us. Maybe she knows this because she turns away from us once again. I have to stop her. I push my legs forward, but some inevitable force pushes us back. Like moving through quicksand, I can barely inch forward. Something's protecting her. Inch by inch, I have to keep moving. A pulsing ball of magic starts to form in front of Evelyn, and she focuses intently on it. The light from the moon falls directly on her. Her skin reacts to it, bubbling and boiling like hot wax. It must be agonizing, but she doesn't react. Maybe she's beyond pain. No, what the F? LOL. Seriously? Ayo, Jude, did you voice that line? Seemed like it. Did I do good? Like, after she voiced it, I copied it. Did I do good? Galdora leaps out of my arms, making her own way beside me. Her breathing is ragged and labored. Neither of us waste energy on more words. I don't know what I'll do if I reach Evelyn. I just know that I can't sit still. The coalescing ball of magical energy continues to grow and grow, taking on a sinister dark hue. The color of a moonless night, the color of an empty void. It starts to spin, crackle, and shimmer. That's when I realize that isn't for the soul transfer. It's too strong, too unstable. Before Morgan can finish speaking, a tendril of malevolent energy suddenly shoots out straight toward her. It moves too fast for me to react. It pierces me like an arrow. Godless, fiery pain burns through my veins. My whole body stiffens, refusing to move. I can't even cry out. Each individual atom of my body feels like it's being tortured, like a burning needle is being driven through them. You did well? Not bad, then. I want a scream, I want some sort of release, but I'm not even granted that mercy. Behind the pain is a rising, mounting horror. I'm going to die here after all, aren't I? My vision starts to go black. I welcome oblivion. At least then I won't have to hurt anymore. I try to move my eyes to fixate on Tara. If I'm going to die, I at least want my last sight to be of her, even like this. Can't even manage that. All I can see is Evelyn. She says something, her lips moving, but I'm deaf to it. All I can hear is a deep, resonating, ringing sound in my ears, like some perverse bell toll. Then Evelyn's eyes go wide, wider than before. The air behind her shimmers and shakes, just like her magic spell. Empty space tears itself open, and she's sucked backwards like a rag doll. In an instant, the magic and pain is gone, leaving behind no trace. I fall forward, my momentum having been locked in place with me, and just ahead, Tara crashes to the ground limply. I stagger to my feet, not trusting my body to support me, but it does. The complete absence of pain is a shock in its own right. I feel like I should be experiencing the after effects, but I'm not. All that lingers is the memory. Geldor scurries over to me.
Morgan, are you alright?
I think so. I feel fine, actually. What happened to Evelyn?
She licks the back of her paw for a second and then
I'm
stops.
afraid that I panicked and I sent the signal to Madison. I tried to help you, but I couldn't. My own power is still weak. Not nearly enough to match Evelyn's.
There's no changing it now. None of this matters if Maddie isn't able to stop Evelyn. It was going to be unlikely to begin with. It looks like we're in a hard fight. Geldor must know as much too. She pads back and forth, her tail twitching in agitated fervor. I stroke her fur.
Still, thank you. Can you help me check on Tara?
Of course.
We rush over to where Tara lies prone on the cold floor. Her soul is nowhere to be seen, which I hope means it returned to her body. I cradle her as tenderly as I can, checking for a sign of a pulse or breath. I gently prop her against my chest, stroking her hair. Please be okay, please. 2 tears drip down my face, landing on hers. I didn't realize I was crying. Geldor lingers beside us, nuzzling her face against
She's
Tara's
alive.
cheek.
I can feel that much.
Is she okay, though?
I don't think she should experience any lasting effects from the magic. It's the fall to the ground that worries me more.
That's true, she fell from pretty high up, onto a stone floor. I wipe away the tears that fell on her, steeling myself to prevent any more. Trace my fingers across the curve of her jaw, down to her lips. They press together just a bit to kiss my finger.
Tara, can you hear me?
I'm afraid to let hope spring into my heart again. Her lips move just barely.
Can't hear you.
There's a soft, blessed, warm gust of air against my face as she sighs and forces her eyes open.
I said, I'm dumb as bricks, babe. It'll take more than head trauma to hurt me.
I pull her up and into a hug and she pats my
You
back.
okay? You're sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I wipe my eyes as we part to face each other once again.
I was so scared.
I wasn't. I knew you'd save me.
I don't deserve someone like her.
Is there any way we can get to Mads? She might need our help.
We both turn to face
I can take
Geldor.
us there, but I don't know how much use I'll be once we arrive.
Tara moves to question, but I place a hand lightly on her arm. Geldor is barely holding on as is, and her guilt at her inability to do more is palpable. It's all up to Maddie.
Let's go. There isn't much time.
I help Tara to her feet, and she immediately winces, hissing in
Are
pain.
you okay?
I'm fine. Guess I just hurt my ankle in the fall.
She's able to stand on her own, giving me a shaky smile. I don't like it, but there's nothing I can do right now. At least it's only her foot, and not her head or back. With a graceful jump, Geldor hops into my arms once again. I stand next to Tara, who leans against me for support. With one hand, I support the cat. With my other, I take Tara's other hand in my own, then I nod.
Ready.
We're ready for the mom spaghetti. Mom spaghetti. My heart pounds as Abigail and I arrive in the Fairy Grove. This place has been the setting of most of my favorite memories here in the forest. I could have never guessed that it would be where everything ends. I can feel the fairies, my subjects, watching from close by. They don't show themselves, but their presences are like tiny little pressure points on my consciousness. They're just as tense as I am. Closing my eyes, I reach out to the forest, asking for its aid. It still hurts badly. It laments the terrible pain that it suffered. I promise that it'll be okay. It's my duty as queen to ensure this. I hold the force in my heart and promise to rid it of the Moonsick one. Abigail and I walk to the water's edge. Nervousness tears at my stomach. Galadora's signal can come at any time. I have to be ready. High above, the moon offers its light to us. The whole lake is dyed in its silver glow, shimmering and refracting and amplifying. Moonlight caresses my face like a lover, warm and invigorating. I indulge in it, letting it sink in through my skin, my roots, my forest. Every little second could be crucial.
How do you feel?
She holds my hand loosely in hers.
Nervous. In a way I've never felt before. Nothing else in my life has ever been this important. There's never been life or death consequences like this. What if I screw up?
I expect to see fear reflected in Abigail's face as well, but when I turn towards her, she looks serene and unbothered.
I have complete faith in you, Madison. The fairies said that not just anyone could be queen, but that you could. They saw something in you too. We're all putting our trust in you. The whole forest is, and our friends too. We wouldn't do that if we didn't believe in you.
I wish I could use a magic spell to boost my confidence. For all the power that I hold right now, it sure feels insignificant. So far, everything has come naturally. Moving through the woods or interacting with its dead instance is easy, but to use my magic against another being, that's something else entirely. I can't let that kind of attitude overwhelm me. I can't be defeated before it even starts. Abigail's right, everyone is counting on me. I can't let them down.
Thank you.
For what?
For believing in me.
She leans forward and kisses my cheek.
Always.
Always. That word has meant a lot of different things to me lately. My concept of forever keeps shifting and changing. Even now, I'm not entirely sure what it means. I suppose that after tonight I will.
You know, when we were here before, there were times that I wished it could last forever. Where it was peaceful, and just the two of us.
She's using her full name, Madison, instead of Maddie. Got a problem with that, XYZ?
But now, more than anything, I'm ready to go
You have to
home.
understand, XYZ. She's
I'm
a
ready for us
fairy
to make new
queen now,
memories.
so we have to show her
Together.
respect.
Nothing would make me happier. When you came into my life, I thought that it would be fleeting, like a nice dream that I might someday look back upon and smile. I didn't dare imagine nor hope for anything more. But now, well, perhaps you've made an optimist out of me after all.
I kiss her forehead and then her nose and then her lips.
I love you. More than anything.
I love you too, more than anything.
Together we face forward, and that's when I feel it. A cold flash of foreign fear. Stabs through my head and the idyllic scenery. I recognize the origin immediately. Galadora's panicked signal. I step away from Abigail, clearing a space. I force myself to breathe evenly as I reach within myself mentally, searching for the magic. I call upon the power within me, unlike before, when it blossomed and flourished at my request. Now it lies dormant and afraid. I understand, I'm afraid too, but there's no time to be afraid. Using my authority as Fairy Queen, I coax the magic forth. The church's presence aches like an infection, and I promise the forest that I'll help heal it. The magic ripples through the woods. It sets upon the church, finding Evelyn easily. I can't see her in my mind's eye, but I can feel her hatred and scorn, and fear. So I'm not the only one who's afraid then. That's more reassuring than anything else. If she detects the magic that's coming for her, then I can't tell. At my will, the tendrils of magic wrap around her like vines, then I stick my hand out, my physical actual hand, and I pull. The result is immediate. Just above the surface of the lake, a ripple disrupts the air as a massive rift opens up. Within seconds, Evelyn falls forward through it, collapsing in a heap to the shore. Okay, so that's what happened. Maddie freaking grabbed Evelyn and yoinked her to the dang fairy grove. It's wrong though, she's still in her regular body. It's not just her vulnerable soul like it should be. I take a fearful step back. Why did Galdora send the signal early? My blood runs cold. What if something happens to her and Morgan? What if she wasn't too early? What if I was too late? I try to rally my thoughts and concentrate on what to do. She quickly picks herself up, wild eyes casting back and forth. Her appearance is monstrous. It finally fits her personality. Her gaze falls on me and her lips curl in hatred or disgust.
So, it's you. I see that even death didn't want you. And now here you are, stinking of snow and pine. Stinking of them. You wear their clothes. You bear their crown. But you are not one of them.
She lumbers forward, her steps seeming pained. She's either dazed from being pulled here, or from the effects of her own spell. But I can't count on that to last.
You're right. I'm not. Just like you'll never be a human.
I need to buy myself time while I try to think.
Human? Ah, is that what you think I want? I will be more than human.
A gust of wind stirs up, likely at her calling. The trees shake and I plant my feet firmly to keep from losing my balance. I feel the barriers in my mind freeze and break away. She's gone. As the world spins around me, the moon shines down on the lake. I search for her presence with my mind, but I can't find her, like a fish that slipped off the line. I need to calm down. My heart races and my head begins to ache and throb.
You're so fragile, so easily damaged, so easily broken.
The biting wind intensifies, threatening to sweep my crown away. Abigail shields herself with one arm. Evelyn, however, remains unaffected.
What's wrong, little child? Why not make this easy on yourself? I can make it painless for you this time.
Reality and illusion blur and blend, and the fabrics of my vision tear. She takes another step forward in my mind, shattering the little focus I had. She's almost close enough that if she lunged forward, she could grab me by the throat. Instead, Evelyn scratches at her own neck, her nails drawing blood, but she doesn't seem to notice. High in the sky, the moon washes over us indifferent. I can feel its light sustaining me, the same as it bolsters her. She turns to look up at it, shivering. Let me ask you something, Saru, since you asked me a Halloween question earlier. Actually, let me ask you two questions. What was your favorite Halloween costume that you've ever had? That's question number one. Question number two, what's your favorite, like, horror game? Like, if you could stream your favorite horror game for Halloween, what would you stream?
You know why you were the first to go. Because you were the easiest. All alone.
Damn, this is the last chapter? Yeah, this is the last chapter.
Happen all the time out there. Really, it's my daughter you have to blame for all this. It's a shame you won't get another chance.
I try to find her again with my magic, but I can't. It's like she isn't even there. Where her consciousness should exist, there's nothing but a gaping hole. A void that feels familiar somehow. Her eyes glow red as she faces me again.
Looking for me.
My consciousness is immediately assaulted. My head pounds as I feel Evelyn enter it like an intrusive thought. With every push and pull she rips at my soul, my magic quakes under her power, flickering and fearful. I try to reach out and grab it, pull my own consciousness and strength into me. Every time I get close, it's yanked away. Unrelenting, overwhelming, die, 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 echoes and reverberates in my skull. I choke, momentarily forgetting how to breathe. Every single thought, every single idea snatched and destroyed. Can't even see
I
anymore.
knew it! Your gifts are wasted on you. Queenship is wasted on you.
Inflatable cow costume?
What good
How
is
old were you
power
when you had that
if you don't
costume?
know how to use it?
I don't remember a lot of my costumes. I just remember being like, maybe Yu-Gi-Oh? Yeah, I was Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I still have the Millennium puzzle piece of the costume. So I was Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was Spider-Man, and I was a ninja. I think those are the three costumes I remember. I might have been a cowboy one time. I don't know who else I might have been. This chapter you gotta spam all the buttons to stop Evelyn. As for favorite horror game, I don't usually play them, so I can't say. Have you watched people play them at least? Do you have a favorite based on that? My favorite horror game is actually a horror game that I've never played. Because it's too expensive if you want to buy a Western copy. But it was on PlayStation 2, so I've seen videos of it. It's called Haunting Grounds, and it's made by the same people that make Clock Tower, which is also a famous title.
All of you are the same.
A searing pain in my head forces me to my
Your
knees.
friends couldn't save you then, just as you can't save them now.
Saru was 12 when he was the cow. When I was 12, I don't think I had a costume. I mean, maybe I did. I don't know. But what I remember is I was either 12 or maybe 13, right? And it was me and like 3 of my friends. We were like going trick-or-treating around the neighborhood after school. And like the first year of high school, one of those friends that I was trick-or-treating with, they messaged me on Facebook and they were really upset. They were like, "Oh, back in middle school, you said that we would trick-or-treat like this together every year." So I guess like, when we're in like 7th or 8th grade, do trick-or-treating as a group, I guess I promised my friends that, because we were having fun, that we would, have a tradition of doing that. And I guess I didn't pull through. I mean, it was hard. It was hard going from middle school to high school because there were a lot of friends that were trying to keep in touch with me, and I regret not keeping in touch with them. I didn't do a good job of that. And then there were some friends that I did manage to keep in touch with from middle school to high school, But then there was also like all the new high school friends and all of that stuff. So, it was hard because like you can't logically keep like commitments with everybody, you know what I mean? Like if there's like a million different people that want to trick or treat with you and you want to say yes to everyone but you can't, you have to pick and choose. And like, I just picked whoever asked first, If these people and me make a plan first and then, I hadn't seen somebody in several months, then, forgot I made that promise. But anyway, that's something I never forget, that one friend was really upset about a promise that I completely forgot I had made. If I ever even made it, I don't even know. Maybe Resident Evil 2, I liked watching. I think my favorite Resident Evil is Resident Evil 4. For 2 reasons. One reason because I heard originally it was supposed to be a Devil May Cry game, which is pretty cool. And then they were kind of like, hey, we'll do Resident Evil instead. So it turned into a Resident Evil game. And another reason I like it is because my friend Sunset, he streamed it. And I remember, obviously telling jokes during the stream like I always do. And I just remember some of the jokes that I said and, him laughing. So that was fun. Wish I had Nico problems? Bro. I'm sure you have had Nico problems at some point in your life. I think it's impossible to avoid those types of problems. An unforeseen force shoves my head upwards, making me look at Evelyn. A peculiar ringing blocks out all other sound except for her words. I'm deaf to the wind, to the forest, to Abigail.
What you've done. And despair.
She gestures imperiously towards the empty space between us. Just like the portal I used to bring her here, another hole in space rends itself open. Through it, I can see a glimpse of the murky, stained glass window of the church. Then it upends, unceremoniously spilling out my friends, or at least their bodies. Nausea hits me at the sight. Tara's there, her body limp and broken, arms and legs splayed at an obscene angle. Blood trickles from her mouth beneath her open, sightless eyes. Morgan is also there in a heap. Though her body isn't as mangled as Tara's, a grisly wound stretches from her ear, across her face and down her neck. Blood stains the sand beneath her. Even Gillador lies there motionless. Though her back is turned to me, a small puddle of water forms beneath her, spreading as she seems to melt. I scream. You know what? I think this is a... I know you guys are going to be like, oh shit, everyone's dead. But I think this is a genjutsu. I think it's an illusion. I think this is fake. I want to run towards them or clutch at my heart, but I'm pinned in place. How? What went wrong? Was this why the signal came too early? I shouldn't have left them alone. I should have gone with them. This is my fault, isn't it? Evelyn's attack on my mind seizes in order to let me truly comprehend the horror before me. As much as I fight it, my heart gives way to what Evelyn asked of me. I despair. Don't despair, not yet. Our feet touch solid ground, and Tara immediately loses her balance. I grab her shoulder to keep her from falling. Gillador pants heavily, the magic having taken a heavy toll on her. Maddie, Abigail, and Evelyn are on the far side of the lake. Only Abigail seems to notice us. Even from a distance, the terror on her face
Come
is
on,
clear.
they need our help.
Alright, here they are. I knew it. I knew it was a genjutsu. Tara takes one step forward and then falls to the ground, clutching her ankle. Just then, Maddie screams in pain or in horror. A sick feeling in my stomach. All three of us turn to look. Although there is nothing new to be seen, I know from experience that doesn't mean she isn't in pain. Abigail is tugging on her arm, but Maddie doesn't react at all. She must be beyond even feeling it. And just behind Evelyn, a familiar-looking ball of sinister light is forming, sparkling in the moonlight. Its tendrils jolt and jag with familiar hunger. Maddie doesn't even know. Evelyn turns back and looks at us, a sadistic grin on her face. The tendrils of magic shift, and a feeling of impending doom fills my lungs. I look back at Tara, who scowls at her foot as she tries to move. There's no way she'll be able to. I don't have long to act. I turn to run to confront Evelyn myself. I don't know what else to do. Everything has gone wrong. All that matters to me at this point is that Maddie and Tara get out of here. If I have to die for that to happen, then so be it. I hesitate just slightly. My leg wavers as I try to take a step forward. It's enough for Tara to grab my arm, grimacing through the pain.
Where are you going?
To stop her.
Tara's grip tightens.
Not without me, you aren't.
Tara, you can't.
Neither can you. I'm not letting you throw yourself away. Not again.
Something soft paws at my leg, and I look down to see Gildor staring up at me.
Both of you.
As sweet as they are, there isn't any time for sentimentality. Every second we spend talking is a second wasted.
Morgan, the moonlight.
I glance up at the sky, but don't notice anything different. The moon shines down on both Maddie and Evelyn, surely invigorating them both. However, it's obvious from the situation that Evelyn is better
What
at
about
using
it?
it.
It makes magic stronger. With enough of it, and our magic, we can stop her.
Whose magic? Yours and Maddie's?
Her eyes glisten in the moonlight as she stares up at me.
No, Morgan. Mine and yours.
XYZ! Saru! Morgan has magic. Here it comes. The Rainbow Rasengan.
What?
I can't keep the exasperation out of my voice. We don't have time for her to mess around. Geldora nimbly climbs up my legs and torso, my heavy sweater protecting me from the pain of her claws. She perches on my
Love is
shoulder.
its own form of magic. It makes the impossible possible.
Oh god. Oh god, no. Saru, no. They're giving us the love is magic shit. This is like some fairy tale power of friendship bullshit.
And I know you have plenty of that.
This is unbelievable. I turn to face Tara, who's been listening to every word. Despite it all, she gives me an encouraging smile.
I don't know anything about magic, and I'm still figuring this love thing out. But I know I believe in you, Morgan. Go kick her ass!
Sorry, did you watch Fairy Tail? And if so, who are your top 3 favorite characters? XYZ, who are your top 3 favorite Fairy Tail characters? I could try to stop it myself. Even if I had to die for it, I would. What Gildor says sounds crazy, but everything about this is crazy. And I don't want to die. Also, did either of you finish Fairy Tail? I didn't watch all of the anime, but I finished the manga. I'm putting all my trust in Gildor and in Tara. Just like I know they're putting their trust in me. I won't let them down. With one arm, I help keep Gildor in place, and as fast as I can, I run, heading straight for Maddie and Evelyn. Here comes the Rasengan.
Now do you understand? Everything that you've done still wasn't enough. Even cheating death itself. Now, join them.
Barely on the periphery of my awareness, I can see magical energy coalescing behind her, the spell that's intended to end my life. I need to react. I need to move out of the way or do something, but I can't. I'm frozen. I can't tear my gaze away from the sight of Morgan and Tara. I couldn't protect them either. I couldn't save them. Maybe I deserve this too. I wasted the second chance I was given. Maybe I... Another presence cuts through the haze of my mind, giving me a sudden spark of clarity.
Madison!
She must have been calling my name for a while.
Madison! It isn't real! You aren't alone!
Her words cut through my despair like a hero's sword. I lock eyes with her, and I welcome her into my own head. She's so vibrant, so present that she forces out Evelyn. Everything that I was feeling just moments before, all of the fear and horror is swept away, and it's replaced with only one thing. Love. Oh my god, the power of love! She helps make me myself again. Time itself has stopped, or rather, it doesn't exist here. Right now, we're the only two people in the universe. I'm aware that this is only a vision and not reality, yet somehow it's more than that. Perhaps it's a different kind of magic. We're surrounded by light. Stars flicker, watching us to see what will happen next. I witnessed both myself and Abigail, but it's not just the versions of ourselves that are here and now, rather, it's our future together, the two of us, happily laughing, smiling, growing old. It takes me only an instant to understand. She's the one imagining it, sharing this with me the same way that the fairies did. This isn't just a wish or possibility, it's a promise. Both in my mind and in the real world, I take her hands. I don't worry about Evelyn because in my heart I know that we've already won. Yeah, I finished Fairy Tail, was reading the second series, but stopped cause meh. Top 3 characters would be Urza, Lizana, and Gray maybe? Really wish they did something more with Lizana, so she does kind of suck. Yeah, I was about to ask you, why is Lizana, am I saying her name right? Why is she in your top 3? Cause like, I feel like the only thing that she had that was like interesting, I guess, was the flashbacks. Like the flashback stuff was really cute. But then after the flashbacks, they kind of dropped the ball. Like, they could have done so much more, like you said. But they just didn't. They just dropped the ball so hard, dude. So, you know, Urza, everybody always says Urza, so I'm not surprised about that one. Why Lizana and Gray? Tell me more.
I do.
I focus on the feeling of her hand against mine, and the knowledge that she's with me. I steady my breathing and face back towards the scene that Evelyn's conjured. Only now do I notice the imperfections there. Morgan's sweater is the wrong color, Tara's hair clips are the wrong shape, even the markings on Gilder's fur are different.
Liar.
I should have known they were just more illusions. It's always illusions with her. The potential she could have brought, I think there could have been more. Huge drop in the ball. Huge drop in the ball, man. Dude, the freaking ending sucked. Like, all of the characters, well, maybe, okay, not all of the characters, but the character, you know, I was, like, looking forward to the ending, because, like, you remember Larcade? I think I'm saying his name right. I was really, like, looking forward to seeing, like, an epic battle with him, and just, like, learning more about him in general. And, you know, obviously Agnologia. And all those fights felt like very short, very easily won. They didn't feel like the level of difficulty that they were supposed to be, you know what I mean? I don't know, that whole last arc was rushed. People said it's because he really wanted to finish Fairy Tail and start Eden Zero. But still, bro, that's effed up. Gray is a more deeper character. I like his background story. Was never really cringe. That's true in a way. He has a lot of, like, background stuff and then connections to other characters and all that. I could see that. How do you feel about him taking his shirt off all the time, though? I feel like, because, like, it makes sense, right? They give you, like, a reason why he's always taking his shirt off, right? An explanation for it. But I still feel like it's done too often. I don't know. I feel like it's, like, too... It's not... I don't know if tropey is the right word, but... It oversaturated? I don't know. They just do it too much. Because, like, even in the video game, I got a platinum trophy in the video game. And every time the characters talk to Gray in the video game, it's pretty much always just like, your shirt's off again. Ha ha ha. And I'm like, bro, you could give me different dialogue with Gray other than, your shirt's off again, dude. Aw, snap. You know what I mean? I can go on whole rants about Fairy Tail, so disappointing after the time skip. Bro, let's go on these rants, dude. I almost fell for the same trick twice. But it won't happen again. Before my eyes, the fake images flicker and then dissipate, vanishing entirely. For the first time, Evelyn takes a step backwards, shaken by my resolve. The spell she had been charging collapses into nothingness. She shudders yet again, harder than before. She shakes so hard that it looks she might fall apart. I don't know why, but I keep pressing the X for the dialogue to continue, but it feels like it's like slow. But she doesn't, and when she faces me again, there's still murder in her eyes. Like, I gotta double tap, basically. It's annoying when people mention it, but him doing it isn't that bad. I don't know, man. Maybe it's not so much the problem of him doing it, but more so, like I said, just everyone constantly reacting to it. Like, oh my god, your shirt's off again. You know what I mean? Because, like, he does it so often that you figure no one would make a big deal out of it. Like, you know, it's like, who cares at this point? Why do you keep pointing it out? As they approach, I feel Gilder's thoughts collide with my own. She sends me an apology for the signal, conveying in an instant everything that had happened. It seems like I missed some dialogue anyway. Then she sends me a request along with 2 words. I'm ready.
Maddie! The lake!
Even Evelyn turns around to see what Morgan's talking about. You know what's interesting, Saru? Oh, why? I gotta take it off auto or something? What the fuck's happening? Then, without warning, Morgan turns and dashes into the pond with Gildur still in her arms, submerging them both in water as they vanish from sight. Okay, I think I took it off auto. Anyway, you know what's crazy, Saru? The fact that freaking... What's his name? The guy with the crush power? You know who I'm talking about, the S-rank wizard. Anyway, the fact that, like, he looks like red-haired Shanks to me, but then he has Whitebeard's power. It's like they literally just combine 2 of the strongest characters in One Piece, and they're like, bro, we're gonna make this the strongest character in Fairy Tail. Like, what the heck, bro? Same thing with Dragon Slayers being transportation sick. That's interesting. They tried to explain that too. I forgot how they explained it, but it kind of made sense. But at the same time, it's like, whatever. Sheesh, what's going on now? So we found out that Morgan has magic powers, and that everyone's magic powers become more powerful with the moon, and become more powerful with love. So basically, the power of love is gonna destroy Evelyn. Tara skids to a stop, watching the spot where they disappeared, as the shimmering surface of the pond scatters moonlight. I understand. For what I hope is the last time, I dropped the magic that the fairies have entrusted me with. I coaxed it out of every nook and cranny of the forest, from the frozen ground under our feet to the highest reaches of the tallest trees. I implored the forest to help me. Within an instant, I could feel its response. Oh yeah, that guy, Gildarts, and he wasn't very useful either for being so strong. I mean, I think he wasn't supposed to be useful, because I think the problem with Gildarts is that he's so OP that, like, if they were to put him in a battle, he would just end it in one hit. He would basically be Saitama. You know what I mean? And they didn't want to do that. They wanted to actually have fights that seemed like fights. That's how I interpreted it. It's like Power Rangers all over again, getting powers. Yeah, exactly. And the fairies hidden just out of sight. From the forest spirit waiting forlornly in its grove. Are you guys watching any anime right now? So, as you guys have probably heard me say, To Your Eternity is like one of my top 10 anime that I gave like a perfect score to on my anime list. And season 2 starts tomorrow. So that's pretty hype. I move with the easy confidence of doing something that I know I was born to do. All of my short time as Fairy Queen has been building up to this moment. I step forward, bolstered with energy, and no longer afraid. I feel out the gaping hole where Evelyn's mind should be, the black, vile reminder of the existence she forsook, and the lives that she stole. I find her like a roach, skittering and afraid, and I bind her. I'm sure that it sears her like fire. She shudders and shivers and quakes in the moonlight. Moon sickness. After that, I released it all the magic and power that was given to me. I let it flow out of my fingertips on its way back to its rightful owner. I can see the arc of the magic as it descends into the lake where I know Gildor is waiting for it. Then, as the last vestiges of it leave my body, the vision of it disappears and the warmth of the moonlight vanishes, leaving me cold. I'm watching anime. Chainsaw Man just released. Good season for anime. Good season for anime? Tell me more, Saru. What are the top 3 animus, or even top 5 of the season that XYZ and I should be watching? The thousands of voices and consciousness quiet and then go still, leaving me all alone in my own head once more. I think I saw Giguk or somebody talk about the seasonal anime. And the only one that looked interesting to me was, yeah, Spy Family Season 2 and Season 2 of To Your Eternity. Those are the only 2 that caught my attention. Dude, I heard Uzaki-chan was bad. I heard it sucked. I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to watch it to see if XYZ is right or if everybody else was right. I'm gonna probably watch it after this. I'll put it on my laptop while I play Genshin. I'll multitask. My dress returns to its proper form as just a jacket, and the flowers wither and shrivel away into non-existence. Not death. The crown of my head crumbles to dust, brushing past my ears before it's blown away. You guys want to hear? You guys want to hear something fucked up? Fucked up stories with Cloud or GU. Yeah, all those. I like Mob Psycho as well. Just only watching big anime, GU. How am I watching big anime? Dude, like, I'm pretty sure To Your Eternity is like pretty niche. Not a lot of people talk about it. I'd be watching not the biggest hits. That's bullshit, because you haven't seen To Your Eternity. And that's like niche, bro. I'm pretty sure it's niche. So, hey, let me tell you my effed up story. So, there's like this place, right? That's near the Japanese restaurant that I keep going to. And it sells wine, and it's a pretty big location. So, I went in there one time to see if there was sake. Or sake, whatever, sake. Let's call it sake. I think it's sake. I went in there one day to see if there was sake. And the first day I went, there was a lot of variety to the sake that they have. So, it seemed pretty cool, right? But they didn't have the varieties that I was looking for. And I think they were supposed to, but it was just out of stock. So anyway, so I went back 2 more times. Today was the 3rd time that I went. And both the second and third time, there was less in stock. It's like they never refill their shelves. So anyway, it's you know, I want to buy some sake, but there's nothing to buy. It sucks. They had one bottle that looked kind of interesting, but guess what? Guess what? $80. It was called like I think it was Divine Junmai. I don't know. $80, dude. That's crazy. I'm not doing that. So anyway, I might buy some online, cause like I know a website. The only thing that I don't like about the website is that they charge $15 for shipping. So that was kind of why I wanted to find it in person. But you know what? I'll probably just buy what I want online. Cause one of the ones that I was looking to buy, it's called Tozai. And it's Tozai, it's a Nigori sake. And it's like something about snow in the description, whatever. It's supposed to be good. And then they had one that was like strawberry, and I was like, you know what? That sounds interesting. I might want to try that. So I might just buy those 2 around Christmas time. That way I could, like, you know, little holiday, give it a try type of thing. Bro, looking for Sachi, not sake? Bro, I am looking for Sachi, bro. She's hot as fuck, dude. To Your Eternity is mid? Bro, you never even seen it, bro. You a fake anime fan. Sorry, do you know about Sachi, Saru? Sachi hot as fuck, dude. At the same time, Morgan resurfaces and swims to the shore where Tara's waiting for her. The moonlight is endlessly refracted through the water where it shimmers and sparkles. Beneath the surface, I can see her. Alright guys, do you want to make some bets? Do you think Gildor is going to be hot? Gildor crests back through the surface, her true form restored as she's accepted the mantle of Fairy Queen once again. Gildor's true form as Fairy Queen is a beautiful woman garbed in an ornate white and blue dress with a snowflake adornment. Okay guys, good news. She does not have blue skin. I don't know how I feel about her eyes being diamonds. That doesn't appeal to me. A shining dress the color of fresh-born snow adorns her, glittering as brightly as the stars overhead. She is pretty though. I just don't like the diamonds. Water streams down her in little rivulets, some turning it to ice or frost on the way. She's breathtaking. My dress was pretty, but it didn't suit me nearly the same way the role of Fairy Queen seems to suit her. Even Evelyn is speechless. Gildor closes her eyes for just a moment. Hell yeah, she hot. Oh, looking better than I imagined. Hot as fuck though. Not gonna lie, at first I thought she was gonna be like an old lady. Kinda. But, you know. It's a waifu visual novel, so of course not. Her movements mirror the ones I performed just moments ago. Gildor's stance is more experienced, more graceful, but I recognize it. She's... hold up, I can't... I'm missing stuff. She's calling upon the forest's magic. Okay. Then she raises one hand high. The moon seems to glimmer at her fingertips. In one swift motion, she slices downward, moonlight trailing behind her. It pierces Evelyn like a spear, fatal and true. Her whole body convulses as her moon sickness wreaks its terrible havoc on her. Her flesh bubbles and rolls as it tries to escape the dying spirit within. It's a gruesome sight, and I look away, turning instead to Abigail. She holds me tightly. As I watch Gildor approach the shore, I can hear the buzzing of the fairies, just out of sight, as they start to return to greet their queen. I don't even have to be connected to the force to know that it's rejoicing. I would smash? Yeah, that's what I was picturing, being real old. XYZ said he's smashed. What do you think, Sorry? Would you smash? Smash or pass? You know what? I should do a smash or pass stream where I just find like random images of like anime girls that aren't even from anime. They're like OCs or something, and I'll do like a smash or pass. And I'll credit like all the artists in like, you know, my description or something. But I'll gotta do a smash or pass. I don't know. But dude, that'll be interesting. Lightblade, we still gotta do our tier maker. I know I've been slacking because, you know, I freaking work 10.5 hours a day. So, you know, these 55, 53, sometimes 55-hour weeks are killing me. Not a trace of Evelyn remains, neither body nor soul. Gildor stands on the ground where it last was. The Fairy Queen's eyes are closed in mourning. Not over losing Evelyn, of course, but over losing the fairy she had once been. I look down at myself in my regular clothes once more, and my flesh and blood body. I shiver a little in the breeze. It's a miraculous feeling. Then I turn and pull Abigail towards me as we wrap our arms around each other in the biggest hug imaginable. Neither of us say anything, we don't have to. From the side of the lake, Morgan and Tara approach us. Tara's limping, leaning on Morgan for support. They both look a little bruised, but not too badly off. Abigail and I walk over to meet them.
You did it, huh? You really did it.
Nah, bro. Maddie didn't do shit. Honestly, Evelyn, this would have never happened to Evelyn if she would have just killed Gildor from the start. Just turning Gildor into a cat was a big mistake. Alright, tier making LOL. Been busy with homework, not gonna lie. Okay, good. That makes me feel less guilty, because I felt guilty.
Yeah, we did.
It's still sinking in.
Morgan, Tara, are both of you alright?
Yes, I'm fine.
I'm good too. Messed up my ankle when we got here, but it's nothing too bad.
And your head.
Hey now, I already said not to worry about that one.
For better or worse, it really is impossible to face Tara. She could have died several times within the last half hour, but here she is cracking jokes. I really admire that about her.
Are you sure you're alright, Morgan? You kind of just jumped into a lake.
And it was totally badass.
Yes, I'm positive. Thank you for worrying about me, though.
That's what family's for.
I've been bonding with one of the 5th graders about Bleach. Because I've seen him reading Bleach. So let me ask you guys now, what are your top 3 favorite Bleach characters? 2 of them exchange a smile. As they do, I look up to the sky once again, and for just a moment I close my eyes. In my head, I offer a word of thanks to the forest for its protection and for everything it did for me. A chilly breeze blows in response. A loud buzzing fills the air, and we watch the swarm of fairies as they rush toward us from the trees. I step back to stand beside my friends as the fairies arrive, joyously fluttering above Gildor's head. A bright smile illuminates her face as her people welcome her home. They don't speak. Their need for human language now gone. They don't acknowledge me at all. I strain to try to spot Hei or Frio or Anon, but I can't. I'm sure they're there amongst the rest of the hive, but they don't pay me any mind at all. Maybe that's for the best.
So this is like really cool.
You ever seen Bleach? Neither of you have seen Bleach? Why? What? Okay, listen. It's not like, for me, it's not like the best. Like later on, like there are some parts that get kind of not like they're not as much of a high point, but the freaking Soul Society arc, which is kind of like the 2nd season, I guess, of the show, the Soul Society arc is freaking bussin'. It's one of the top arcs of shonen, I'd say, in general, like out of all shonen anime. You gotta fucking watch at least the first 60 or so episodes of Bleach. I forgot where the Soul Society arc finishes, but you gotta watch at least that. Looks really uninteresting for some reason. Yeah, it could get really uninteresting in some parts, like I said. And, like, it's hard to get invested in some of the characters, but some of the characters are really cool, and the Soul Society arc is like 10 out of 10, dude. It's basically a rescue arc, and it's just really good. So this is like really cool. She and Morgan are both watching, somewhat awestruck.
When we get home, Mads, you've gotta write an autobiography. Either that or the best fantasy novel ever. I'm sure you can make millions off the book deal.
I wrap my arm around Abigail.
I'm good. I've got everything I need right here.
Abigail grins, putting her arm around me in return. Tara groans and makes an exaggerated gagging noise.
Okay, if you're gonna be that sappy all the time, then...
Morgan interrupts whatever the consequences will be by leaning forward and kissing Tara on the lips. That shuts her up fast.
Then we'll just have to outdo them, right?
True. I've heard about the Soul Society arc, but eh. Dang. What else are you guys slacking on, bro? What else have you guys not seen? No, I never heard anything about Bleach, nothing good or bad. Really? That's surprising. But in a good way. As we all laugh, Gildor approaches us, the rest of the fairies forming a cloud over our head.
So, it's over. There's much to be done. The forest will need time to heal and recover. It will take years, but it will happen. Thank you, all of you. Mere words cannot express how grateful I am. How grateful the forest is, especially to you, Morgan and Abigail. Your family has suffered so much over the years.
That's right, Gildor was there with Morgan throughout everything. She's the only one who can even come close to really understanding what Morgan's been through.
It's over now, though. Just like the forest, it'll take time to heal and recover.
OMG, they came looking for magic and found love, the greatest magic of all?
We'll be okay.
I know you will.
Gildor faces away from me, looking out towards the forest at large, and towards the waiting clusters of fairies, her domain and her people.
What about the folks back in Eisenfeld? What'll happen to them?
I imagine they'll recover from the glamour rather quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even remember Evelyn's existence. There might be some difficulty as they figure out who will manage their affairs.
She turns back to us now, smiling. In particular, she looks at Morgan.
But I don't imagine any of you will be around to concern yourselves with that.
Right.
At the same time, Morgan and Tara reach for each other's hands. They smile at each other, meeting halfway.
And you, Abigail, are you looking forward to leaving?
Certainly. I've heard so much about the rest of the world from Madison and from Tara already that I can't wait to see it myself.
You know what, Saru? I started watching Gintama. I only saw, I think, like 5 episodes. So, yeah. Anyway, if you want to watch Gintama with me, let me know. I could start from the beginning. And maybe we could do like a Sunday thing. And, you know, we don't have to do every Sunday. But we could do like a Sunday thing, like how we did with, the movie. I forgot the fucking name of the movie. The Foresty movie. It's like one of my favorite fucking Studio Ghibli movie. Princess Mononoke. There you go. Gintama mid 2. This guy, dude.
Although, I'm a little nervous about, what were they called?
Airplanes.
Yes, those. I do hope they're safe.
She looks to me for support. I put my arm around her.
It'll be fine. I promise.
She'll have a lot to get used to in the modern world, but it seems like she's just as excited to experience as I am to show it to her. Even Morgan will have some acclimating to do after spending her whole life with Eisenfeld's limited amenities. It's fine though, as Morgan mentioned, we have so much time. The Fairy Queen smiles at us again.
I see. If you don't mind, I'd like to show you just one last bit of magic. Something long overdue.
One last bit of magic. The 4 of us look at each other and nod in assent.
Lead the way.
Gildor takes us around the pond to the far side, right to the boundary of bare ground and covered in snow. She kneels down, scraping together her mount in her hands, while the rest of the fairies watch from above in reverent silence, their usual keening muted for now. The ball of snow in Gildor's hand is shaped and smoothed out as she alternates between scraping and patting it. Soon I realize the form it's taking, that of one of the fairies. Gildor then gathers several other materials from the forest debris, pine needles, a soggy leaf, a couple of tiny pebbles, and even more objects that I can't see. She arranges the pebbles on her snow sculpture to form a face, then she deftly weaves together a few sodden pine needles and ties them around the back of the head. I realize that they're supposed to be glasses, or at least an imitation of them.
Madison, it's you!
Apparently the first 2 episodes of Gintama are filler for some reason. Yeah, the first episode wasn't that good. I think the second episode was a bit better. But that makes sense, because the first episode was like really boring. So, okay. As Gildor wraps the leaf around the snow fairy, I realize that Abigail's right. It's not an exact replica, of course, but it's definitely supposed to be me. Once it's complete, Gildor lifts the tiny model from the ground, holding it in her cupped hands like a treasure. For a second, I think she's going to hand it to me, but she rocks right past and heads to the shore of the pond. With her back to us, she lifts her arms, holding the tiny sculpture aloft. The moonlight shines down on her, illuminating the snow in her hands. The air around them starts to glimmer and sparkle, the light of the moon refracting off of nothing. Gildor's whole body glows with a soft white aura that's brightest in her hands. Then the little fairy in her hands flutters to life and flies into the air. After just 2 beats of its fragile wings, it turns and joins the rest of the swarm, where it's immediately accepted into the fold. True, the first and second episode weren't that good. The Fairy Queen, yeah, because I remember, like, the first episode was bad. The second episode was okay, and then it got good. So that makes a lot of sense, dude. The Fairy Queen turns back to face us, the sparkling magic now calm once more.
A tribute in your honor. This was the first birth of our people in over a century, ever since I was first bound. Through this little one, your memory will live on in these woods.
Thank you. It's an honor, really.
You know, honestly, making a Madison fairy is cool and all, but like, whatever happened to the tree spirit? Don't we gotta revive the ancient trees and stuff? It's a bit strange to me that she'd choose me as the model, rather than Morgan, whom she knows much better, or Abigail, who's far more intimately connected with the forest. After all, it's not like I did a whole lot as Fairy Queen. Still, the gesture is touching. I watch the little fairy for as long as I can until it's assimilated into the rest and impossible to keep track of. Tara is positively green with
Before
envy.
you leave tomorrow, will you come join me for a final time? We have one last farewell to make.
She looks at Abigail as she says it. Abigail's eyes widen and then she nods.
We've got a late train, so it's easy to do.
You already got his tickets home?
Hell yeah! One of us has to be on top of things around here.
She smirks and I playfully smack her shoulder. Going home. Just the thought of it is exciting. The prospect of returning to our normal lives without having to fight for them, but by now it feels kind of like a dream. But for once, one that I know will come true. Uh-oh, XYZ. Ready? Close your eyes, XYZ. Once again, I wake up before Abigail does. I'm pretty sure if this was like on PC, we would get to see everything that you guys want to see, but since it's PS4, they got that whole gray line blurring it out. The bed isn't even close to big enough for both of us, but it didn't stop us from getting a full night's sleep. She lays nestled against my side, breathing peacefully, while I contemplate the sunlight streaming in. No matter where Tara and I travel to, I'm always looking forward to going home. That's especially true now. It feels weird to imagine that this time tomorrow I'll be on a plane over the sea. We still have a long day ahead of us, though. Our train doesn't depart until the afternoon. And then it's ours to the city. At least it'll be much more cheerful than my trip out here when it was just Tara and me. Hell no, this is not worth closing my eyes for. For as long as I can, I just remain in bed, cuddling close to Abigail. It's so nice to be able to just turn off my brain and relax. No deadlines, no threats, no flickering in and out of existence. Peace. It isn't too long before her eyes flutter and drift open. She yawns, cuddling even closer to me. Without moving the rest of my body, I turn my head to face her and our noses brush together.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madison.
How'd you sleep?
It was the best sleep I've had in 200 years.
She smirks and I laugh too.
That joke never gets old. Fitting.
Abigail moves in even closer, draping herself across my arm and shoulder like a cat. Her hair falls across my face and I blow it away with a playful puff of air.
What about you?
Better than I have in months.
It's true, we both passed out pretty quickly after getting back to the cabin last night. Even the excitement of the day's events couldn't keep
Will
us
our
up.
bed in America be this comfortable?
Moving to PC, not gonna lie. Oh, why PlayStation have no fun?
Oh, it's even
Because
better.
if PlayStation had
Although
fun, Saru,
BT,
I'd be
our
banned
cat,
right now. That's
really
why.
likes to sleep up there. So you might have to fight him for the spot.
BT will have to find somewhere new to sleep because I don't want to share you.
Dude, BT? Isn't that like that Korean band? Dude, why does Maddie's boobas look so big? She always had big boobas. Just he couldn't tell because she had that jacket and sweater on. But you could kind of tell before. She shoos away an imaginary cat with one hand. I love her.
Maybe he'll like Morgan. She's gotta be used to having cats around by now. Gilladura counts. Technically?
Our home will be so lively, won't it?
Nah, it's not blurred on my screen.
Absolutely.
I can't wait.
Me either.
She must have been so constricted in that jacket. She definitely was. The sounds and smells of Morgan and Tara preparing breakfast, wafting through the bedroom, eventually stir us back into gear. I pack what little clothes I brought while Abigail
Good
gets
morning.
dressed.
Meowdy meow.
Please don't ever say that again. But, good morning.
Hello. What are we eating today?
What are we eating today? The only question that counts in life.
Wow, you don't waste any time, huh?
I've wasted a lot of time not eating, and I intend to fully make up for it.
You're in luck. I brought over all the food I had at home, so there's plenty.
She sets a platter of pastries on the table, and Abigail immediately dual wields a blueberry muffin and an everything bagel? Jesus. That's how you do it, damn it. You dual wield it.
Wait, you already went all the way
I
to
should
town
have
and
dual
back
wielded
and then made
when I was at the
breakfast?
Japanese restaurant, like a freaking the chicken katsu and like miso soup in the other hand. Dude, I got 2 miso soups because they were so good. They're always so good.
Yes.
Isn't she amazing?
Morgan blushes. That might be the first time I've witnessed that. Crumbs litter the table, the aftermath of Abigail's enthusiastic eating. I've never met someone so delighted just to be eating food.
Have as much as you'd like. I'll bring the rest with us on the train.
I'm not sure we're gonna have to worry about leftovers.
Abigail grins in agreement. After we finish, I help take all the dishes back into the kitchen and set them by the sink. Morgan starts washing them right away.
I'm not sure who I'm washing these for, but it feels wrong to just leave them dirty.
What'll happen to this place once we're gone?
She shrugs.
I'll leave the key in my shop. I don't really care beyond that. It's nice to not have to.
The rest of the cabin is already immaculate. The blankets are folded, the furniture is realigned. Everything is in its place. I'd even say it's tidier than the day we arrived. Wondered if there were non-censored scenes, and there are. Poor PS4. Ah! Are you gonna send me the non-censored scenes in our DMs? Send them to me, Saru. I've never had miso soup. Yeah, what's it taste like? I really don't know how to answer that. But they put seaweed in it. They put scallion pieces in it, and they put tofu in it. Tofu is a complete protein, so that's always good. So you could taste a little bit of the scallion flavor from the broth, even if you're not, sort of getting the scallion in your spoonful at that moment. It still like leaves off into the broth. And then I've heard that they could make the broth in 4 different ways. So I think they could use tuna flakes, like katsuoboshi, I think it's called. I think they could use dried squid, and I think they could use 2 other things to make the broth. But it's literally the best fucking soup that I've ever had, if it's done right. Because there's another restaurant that's close to my house, and their miso soup is absolute trash. Like, you don't even want to finish it if you buy it. But there are 3 other restaurants that I know the locations of, including the one that I went to today, and they always have really good miso soup. So if you get it at a restaurant that makes it right, then it's literally the best soup you'll ever have. I highly recommend it. I would say maybe it's like a little bit of a salty. I don't know. I don't think saying it's salty is accurate though. Umami? I guess umami would be the thing to say, right? It's very savory? I don't know. It's fucking good. Everyone else is waiting for me in the living room.
So we're going out into the woods one last time, right?
Yes. I need to
Don't
say
send
goodbye
anything to Saru. He's a minor.
a friend.
Whoa! You know someone else in the forest? Is it Elvis?
You're never gonna let that go, are
I could only
you?
find one picture just to verify.
Who's Elvis?
Is it the picture that we just saw of Maddie and Abigail?
Don't worry about it. Tara's just being dumb.
Aren't I always?
You got me there. Anyway, you'll see when we arrive.
I don't want to spoil the surprise, plus I want Abigail to be able to share a peaceful farewell, especially remembering what she told me before about the fairy queen and the forest spirit. We head outside and into the forest. For the first time since we got to Eisenfeld, it's not that cold out. In fact, it's even a bit warm. I wonder if that's coincidence, or if it also has something to do with Evelyn being gone. Neither would surprise me. We haven't gone very far when Gelador suddenly appears, popping into sight just a few feet away. Her arrival is silent, no smoke or sound or anything like that. Just 1 second it's empty and the next she's there.
Good morning.
Morgan and Tara both flinch at her sudden arrival, but Abigail and I are
I've
unaffected.
been waiting for you. I could feel the four of you into the forest.
That's awesome! So your fairy sense started tingling?
Gildor tilts her head perplexed. Tara really needs to learn her audience out here.
Anyway, if you're prepared, I'll take you all the rest of the way. It would take far too long to walk.
The five of us join hands, Gildor standing between Morgan and me. Her hands are cold, but not unpleasantly so. Possibly, though it has a background. Bro, that's even better, bro. Slide that shit in my DMs. In the time that it takes for me to blink, we're teleported to the grove of ancestral trees. Even without being one with the forest, the magic in this place is palpable. It soaks into the earth and trees, and the air is sweet. We approach the ancestral grove with careful, quiet steps. The destruction that Evelyn causes is more prevalent here. Streaks of ash still blemish the surrounding trees, painful reminders of the one she slew. Just ahead, I can see the clearing where I know the forest spirit will be. Gildor steps aside, gesturing for Abigail and I to continue on. We do. When the tree spirit comes into view, I can hear Tara gasp from behind me. The tree spirit looks even weaker than the last time I saw it. If previously it looked old, now it looks downright ancient. Its once terrifying eyes have lost their luster. Its wooden body is even more knotted and warped than before, and it's so small.
Is this your friend?
Without turning around, Abigail nods.
For all these years we've been together. It was a forest spirit who saved my soul when Evelyn came for my body.
Abigail reaches out a hand, going to the forest spirit's side. Like every time before, I also keep my distance.
Abigail.
I know. It's time, isn't it?
Gildor nods. The forest spirit peers down at the girl by its side. I'm sure that it loves her back. Abigail takes a single step backwards, and Gildor moves to her side. Then the fairy queen raises a palm and presses it against the forest spirit. The sensation of magic gathering is familiar to me by now, even though this time it's flowing past me, not into me. Gildor calls life from the surrounding trees. Here, where life is more vibrant, the ground ripples under our feet, surging with unseen power. The sunlight beaming onto us feels warmer. Everything is gloriously, happily alive. The forest spirit's twisted form starts to change and morph, now not in a painful way, like how Evelyn died, but much more peaceful. Jagged shards of wood soften and retract. Discord stopped me from sending it since it was explicit? Damn, that makes sense. I'm gonna find it on my own then. Reaching outward and upwards, slowly regaining the colossal height that it once possessed. Roots appear and bury themselves on the ground as the forest floor itself rises a little to accommodate. I remember now that Abigail mentioned before that one of the Fairy Queen's duties was to help the forest spirit pass on, and with Gildor missing for so long it was impossible. I wonder how many decades or centuries this one had existed before meeting Abigail. No wonder all the trees here have such vibrance. No wonder this is the center of life in the forest. Just like the process that made me Fairy Queen, there's little pomp and flair to the transformation, but instead it feels intimate and calm. When Gildor retracts her hand and the magic dissipates once more, everything is still and silent. Abigail says goodbye to the forest spirit, which has turned into a tree. Dude, Abigail looks so hot in this scene. Abigail kneels on the ground before it, with the spirit's eyes being the only recognizable part of it. Abigail falls to her knees at the base of the newborn tree. The spirit's great eye slowly slides down the trunk, a final magical motion until it's level with her face. Despite the tears in her eyes, Abigail manages a smile.
Hello, old friend. Thank you for everything you've given me. Not just company, but another chance at life itself. I'll miss you. I really will. More than I'll miss anything else here. I'm sorry I wasn't around much lately, but I hope you know that I was very happy. Even when it was just us. Even when there was no one else.
She reaches up, touching her hand to the tree just like the Fairy Queen did. Except it isn't a regal, powerful touch. It's delicate and soft. She pushes her forehead against the tender bark, not bothering to wipe away the tears.
And I hope you know that I'll be even happier now. You don't have to worry about me. I'll be okay.
Abigail remains there for a long moment. The forest spirit's eyes watch her, as best they can for as long as they can. Slowly it goes dim, the red light fades to gray, and then to the same plain brown as the rest of the tree. Within moments, it's indistinguishable from the rest of the forest. Abigail looks back up and notices the change. She brushes her hand across the sightless eye, and then she rises to face Gildor.
Thank you.
I'm sure you made its life that much more wonderful as well.
I hope so. Tara, do we still have time before we have to board our train?
Couple hours, yeah.
If it's no trouble, I'd like to return to the Fairy Grove one final time.
I'd be happy to take you.
Tara and Morgan nod in approval. They've both been keeping pretty quiet, although that's only unusual for Tara. Still, I'm glad that she's being considerate of the solemn mood. Once more, Gildor takes our hands and transports us to the fairy clearing. Dang, that's sad. It was a sad moment, man. There's no evidence here of what took place last night. That was her homie for 200 years, dude. Her one homie for 200 years. While there aren't any deer this time, a few birds are in their nests, all's right in the grove. It's a little strange to not instantly feel the presence of the fairies in my head. I'm sure they're close by, but like usual, they keep their distance. As soon as we regain our balance, Abigail wordlessly starts to head for the shore. Tara taps me on the shoulder.
Me and Morgan are gonna take a walk. Give you two a couple minutes.
Sure. Thanks.
I like how Morgan doesn't feel weird about the fact that Maddie is dating like her great aunt. Like, you figure she would feel some type of way, dude. Because doesn't that make her, like, that makes... If, like, Abigail is basically her mom in a way, that makes Maddie her dad now, dude. Shit. Abigail's already down by the water, and I move to join her. Her hand grasps mine, and she squeezes tightly. She breathes in deeply. I do the same. The air is crisp but refreshing. This place has been so special to both of us that I'm a little bit sad to leave it behind as well. I know that's nothing compared to how Abigail must feel. I don't speak. I'm sure that in her heart, Abigail's saying her final goodbyes to this place. I'll let her be the first to speak. We stand there in comfortable silence for a while, hand in
I said
hand.
before that I had come to love the forest as much as I possibly could. But now, when we're about to leave, I realize that I was wrong, because I love it more now than I ever have before. It isn't that I want to stay, but rather that I never had the opportunity to miss it. And now, on the eve of my departure, I'm sure that I will. I think there's a certain kind of love that comes from having something, but there's a different kind of love that can only come from losing it.
To my surprise, she isn't crying. In the past, when we talked like this, it's been accompanied by tears, both joyful and sad. But now, when I look at Abigail, she looks determined to be happy.
Just because you leave something behind doesn't mean you've lost it.
Are you crying, Saru?
It just means that you have to learn to love it in a different way. When you look back on something and it makes you smile, that counts too. Love isn't just about moving forward. Sometimes it's about looking back. This place will always be special to you. And to me, in different ways.
What if I forget? What if someday I can't look back and remember what it looks like? What if I can't remember how it felt the first time we kissed? What if I forget how happy I am right now?
Even if you forget, you'll still carry it with you. It's still a part of who you are. It made you the person you are today. The memories aren't what's important. What's important is how they help you grow.
Saru's crying, bro. It's like we're losing the merry-go all over again, Saru. We go quiet again after that. I surprised even myself with those words. When I look back 5 or 10 or even 50 years from now, I wonder how I'll feel about this time in my life. Not just the forest and all the magical things that have happened, but everything that led up to it. Working on Terra Normal, and all that we accomplished there, all the dreams that I put aside for it, but also the new ones that it instilled in me. I still have a lot to figure out and feelings to sort through, but now, the future doesn't seem too ominous and scary. In fact, I'm looking forward to it. From behind us, I can hear the sounds of Morgan and Tara approaching once more. From their walk, I squeeze Abigail's hand, and she starts to lead me back toward our friends.
Let's go home.
Let's go home. Oh my god.
All aboard! The train conductor yells out his iconic line.
and there's a loud hiss as the train begins to move. It
Damn,
feels
bro,
like
you did
something out
not
of an
just
old-timey
compare this to
film,
the
but
to the
I
Mary.
suppose that's more than appropriate for how
I
our
did,
journey
I
has
did.
gone so far. Beside me, Abigail sits with a
It's a
white
sad
knuckled
farewell,
grip of
XYZ.
seats, alternating between staring out the window and making sure the ground is still beneath her. Across from me, Tara and Morgan sprawl across each other, all pretenses of not a couple abandoned. As for me, I drink it all in, with a smile on my face. Every one of us deserves this.
I blame Mary and all that. Couldn't build a better ship right from the start. All that weird sheep person's fault. Damn.
We pull out of the station,
You're
and
absolutely
I gaze out
right.
the window alongside Abigail. On the way in, I remember how scary and foreboding the forest looked, and how it felt like entering another world.
I'm
Now,
still waiting for
on the way
Dow's and
out,
Sunny to speak for the
I
first
certainly
time.
won't miss it.
It's holding
but
out
I'm
on
not
us.
afraid anymore.
Hey, Mads.
Of course, Tara's the one to break the silence.
How proud do you think my folks will be that I finally got around to adding forged government documents to my criminal record?
I just have to laugh. I can't even be mad at her for this one, because there's no way we're getting Abigail into the country otherwise. I'm not sure how she did it. Maybe that's a brand of magic of her own,
What will be the first thing we do when we get back?
asks Abigail.
Oh, you know we're gonna party!
From where her head rests on Morgan's lap, Tara still manages to strike a pose.
We've got New Year's coming up. Plus, Maddie's birthday is the day before.
Both Abigail and Morgan's eyes widen. I try to brush it off. Every year, Tara swears we're going to go all out for my birthday. Every year she takes like 2 drinks and passes out, or falls out of her bar stool, whichever comes first.
Morgan, Abby, both of you drink, right?
I do. It's been quite a long time since I have, of course, but I'm certainly partial to it.
You both know what that means then, right?
Tara's question is met with 3 blank stares.
Drinking contest!
Oh god, Tara. Not again.
Come on, you're okay with Morgan and Abby watching you drunkenly sing MCR, right?
No, I'm not okay. While Tara launches into an extremely exaggerated version of my last birthday party for Morgan and Abigail's benefits, I find myself looking out the window, watching the world go by once again. There's so much.
Only
that I'm
upside
looking
to the
forward
Mary's
when we
goodbye
get
episodes
home.
where that Nami
Teaching
was
Abigail
extra
about the
large.
world,
What?
Going back to school.
As it uses the animes from the
I'll
latest
also do
movie
my
at the
best to help
time.
Morgan take over the duties on the show. Maybe I'll even come back to guest star in an episode or 2. For so long, I wanted the world to slow down, just a little bit, so I could catch up, figure things out, figure myself out. If there's one thing that being dead and hearing Abigail's stories taught me, it's that I don't want to look back later with regret. Just like I told her at the lake, we have a lot of good memories left to create. I intend to savor every minute of them. I listened to the conversation, laughing along even while I daydreamed.
You know, I told you, Saru, that I got those anime stickers for the kids. So it wasn't just One Piece. It was like a bunch of different animes. It was like a 600 sticker set.
Some joke whose punchline I missed.
Weird thing is, I don't think they gave me Nami or a lot of Nami.
Make an optimist out
They
of
gave me like different guys. Like I
There's
got
one thing that
Usopp,
we have
Luffy,
now.
and all that.
It's time.
I don't know. It felt kind of lacking, the One Piece stickers, though.
And as for everything
But the one that
else,
was really lacking was
well,
My Hero Academia. Like,
I'm sure the
almost
world
every
won't mind if I
fucking
keep it
sticker was
waiting just a
Deku.
bit longer.
And also a lot of All Might. It didn't have a lot of Todoroki or, like, any of the female characters. I mean, there were some female characters, but it was, like, maybe 2 or 3. Just, like, one sticker. And then there's, like, 50 Dekus. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Heart of the Woods. That's it, guys. We did it. Just like Dora and Boots. We teamed up. We did it. Oh, we get to see all the art now? Alright, guys. Let's look at the art, alright? Got the kissing, got the leaning your head on the shoulderings. What else we got, guys? Morgan being angry. Abigail running around all cute and shit. Abigail on her knees, the way XYZ wants her. Chasing some sort of light in the forest and whatnot. More kissing. There you go. Super hot. Super hot. In love with a ghost. Bro. Couldn't be me. Yeah, the One Piece movie, The Giant Mechanical Soldier of Karakuri Castle, was super etchy with Nami and Robin. I don't think I saw that movie, dude. I've heard music from the movie. Like, I've heard, like, some soundtracks on YouTube. I didn't see that movie, my dude. I don't think it's on DVD, which is probably part of the reason why I haven't seen it. Because a lot of the One Piece movies that I've seen, I, like, purchased the DVD for. Like, Film Z, Strong World, Heart of Gold, Gold. I bought the DVD of the Crocodile one, even though that movie, you know, is kind of like something that we already had in the show itself, but I bought that anyway. Yeah, I usually buy the DVDs, and they didn't have a DVD for Karakuri Castle, I don't think, so. XYZ, are you crying now that the plot has concluded? So actually, now that we're here, now that we concluded this plot, so I mentioned to you guys before that there was a game that I was going to acquire that I was very excited about streaming, which I should have had already. So it turns out that the company, I guess, that I purchased it from or pre-ordered it from, they sent me a message. They were like, oh, we weren't able to get it in stock. We're canceling your order. So I had to email them this morning, and I was like, all right, fine. Refund my PayPal, whatever, fuck it. So anyway, I had to purchase the game again. This time through eBay, because, you know I'll actually fucking get it through eBay. And it's supposed to arrive on Friday. So, next Saturday, when I stream again, I'll be able to stream that game that I was telling you guys I was excited about. That's supposed to be a surprise. And hopefully you guys enjoy that when it comes in. Madison, look, there it is. Abigail reaches out the open window to point at the ocean, sparkling in the summer sun. My heart pounds as I hear the pure joy in her voice. The instant the train pulls to a complete stop, she and Tara bolt for the door. Morgan grins at me and stands to follow them. I'm right behind her. Alright, gang, this
Smell
is it.
that air. Feel that ocean breeze.
Here it is,
Look at those
XYZ.
crashing waves. I told you this place was awesome.
How do we get rid of... How do we get rid of the text? There you go, XYZ. There you go. Got rid of the text box. Ah, yeah. Soak it in, XYZ. Soak it in. You'd have to look it up probably. It's an older one. DVD, bro. What are you, a boomer? It's all digital now. Bro, let's be real. It's nice owning physical copies of things. It's nice collecting things. Morgan doesn't look as hot without the twin tail, whatever the fuck she had before. I'm not a fan of short hair like that. She looks like fucking Elliot from Trails of Cold Steel, and Elliot is a boy. So I'm not digging the fact that she looks exactly like Elliot, because Elliot has orange hair and I think green eyes. The only difference is that she has tits, but she looks like Elliot. Hell yeah, she looks hot right there with that dress. Sheesh, 10 out of 10 would smash. Alright, I'm gonna take a picture of this. Take a picture of this. And I'll upload it to the Discord, alright? She looks back at us to make sure we're all so overjoyed as she is. With all our excitement, you'd think she was the one who had never seen a beach before. Her voice trails off as her head swivels around till... Oh, dang, that sucks. Yeah, Morgan isn't Morgan anymore. She looks like Margaret. Margaret, what the heck? With a small squeeze, she gives my hand is all I need to know she
Pretty
appreciates.
incredible, huh?
She closes her eyes and tilts her head up toward the sun, taking in the summer glow.
It's better than I ever dared to imagine.
For a moment, I'm reminded of the glow that surrounded her the first time we read together. Was that the first time my heart stopped when I looked at her? It's happened so often that I've lost count. But now I've known her as a human for longer than I knew her as a ghost. But she still got that same otherworldly beauty that she had back then.
Thank you, Madison.
Abigail looks back to me and
For
smiles.
everything.
I know the kiss is coming before Abigail even starts to move, and I'm more than ready for it. I wrap my arms around her and let her lips press against mine, our bodies perfectly pressed together.
You were worth the wait.
Ooh, you were worth the wait. Damn, that is sexy, dude. This is fucking hot. This is hot, dude. I don't know a guy name for Morgan. Isn't Morgan itself a guy name? Isn't it a guy and a girl name? I don't know. We touch our foreheads together, fingers intertwined. There's no need to say anything else. For once, Tara waits for us to finish before interjecting, but the instant we separate, she's back to her boisterous self.
Are you guys coming or what?
They should have shown us the kiss, though. I wanted to see the kiss. Morgan puts her arm around Tara's shoulder as she waves us on, not missing a beat. Tara pushes her long hair to the side so Morgan can kiss her cheek.
Come on, I'll race you there.
You're on.
Those two turned out to have a surprising amount in common. Whatever store of energy they both draw from, it seems to be infinite. Morgan and I go at much more similar pace, although even she's more enthusiastic about going along with Tara's craziness. Love does that, I guess.
You go ahead, babe. I'll catch up.
Me too. My swimsuit definitely isn't built for sprinting.
I'll wait for you too, I guess it would be. Abigail gives me a nod and another quick peck. Tara tries to do the same, but Morgan pulls her in for a full-on kiss. When she pulls away, Tara looks completely stunned.
Better hurry, Abigail. Don't waste the head start.
You wanted to see the kiss too? I feel you, man. I feel you. That's the first time I've ever seen a kiss used to give someone a tactical advantage. I can respect that. Abigail takes off running while Tara blinks away her days before dashing after her.
No fair!
Yes, it is! You have longer legs than me!
Morgan and I are left in the dust, both chuckling at our overzealous partners. I doubt either of us expected someone so energetic to be such a perfect fit.
We should probably go after them.
Lead the way.
We both take off behind our girlfriends, entering the water and rushing to their arms. I can barely feel the cold of the water as Abigail's warmth envelops me.
And here I thought you were going to keep me waiting again.
We lean in for a kiss at the same time, our lips pressing together in a deep, warm reunion.
Don't you worry, Abigail. I'll always be right behind you.
The smile she gives me puts the sunlight to shame.
I know, Madison. I know.
Bro. XYZ, you crying again, man? Bro. Oh my god. So beautiful. Alright guys, we got like 50 trophies today, shit. Alright, so I guess that's it. As I was saying, we will stream that game that I'm all excited about next Saturday. I got so many games, guys, that are just stacked over here that I still have to play. I'll give you some spoilers. I'm not gonna stream all of these, but I gotta finish Scarlet Nexus, which I was playing off stream. I'm like at the end. I'm like level 48 or some shit. I got Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. Haven't started that yet. Might stream some of it. Nier Replicant. I played the original Nier on PS3, so I know the story, but I haven't started Replicant yet. Could stream that too. Ender Lilies, we didn't ever finish streaming. I still gotta finish Elden Ring, because Millennia is OP. I got Ninja Turtles from fucking Limited Run Games. It's like an old school game that they remade. I could stream that shit too, honestly. I got a lot. I got like 30 games over here that I have to finish. I got Saru last year around Christmas time, I got a collector's edition of Sonic Colors on PS4 for like 20 bucks. It came with like a little plushie or something. Never played that. Never started it. I heard the Sonic Colors is pretty good too, and I wanted to stream it. Never got around to it. Have to get around to it. There's so much that I have to finish. Anyway. So yeah, we got games that we can stream, you know. The Nico GU channel will live for a long time. Long live Nico GU. LOL Ninja Turtles. Listen, my mom used to play that game before I was born. So I was like, I have to fucking buy it, right? Because my mom might want to play it too. Who knows? So I bought it. And I heard it's actually a really good game. One of my friends, IRL, he said that it's quite popular. So should be some good shit. And I haven't played a Ninja Turtles game since like GameCube era, I think. So it's been like a long ass time, dude. Anyway, it is what it is. Alright guys, thanks for being here. Hope you guys have enjoyed your weekly Yuri. Hope you guys eat well, sleep well like I've been doing. I haven't had my third meal, but I'm not even hungry. I don't even know what to do. I might just make a smoothie. Yeah, I didn't have my daily smoothie because I had, I think eggs and tea for breakfast. So I'll make a smoothie. But yeah, guys, thanks for chatting. It's always fun talking to you guys. If you guys have any updates, let me know. If you end up feeling in the mood for Gintama tomorrow, Saru, and you want me to stream some, let me know. If I do stream it for you, we can start from episode 3, since episode 1 and 2 are definitely trash. But yeah, thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it a lot. I'll see you guys around. Take care.